they lost him. But do you know some? The naughty part of me would love to see him handle Mbappe and Vinicius Junior and those boys. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be really, really interesting. And there's no surprise because he is top class. Listen, he was disappointed with the level of performance his team put in yesterday. But why would he not come into their thinking to be their next manager? Because he certainly has proven it at just about every level. Arsenal aside, he has been absolutely fantastic. But Jeff, I want him to stay.
I mean, I just wonder whether that experience at Arsenal will make him feel, rightly or wrongly, that he still has something to prove within the game. And the Real Madrid is, in many respects, the ultimate challenge, isn't it? Because so many have tried, so many have failed.
TalkSport Sports Update powered by the Nissan Van Range. Commercial vehicles built around your business. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van Centre.
Good afternoon, I'm Max Scott here with your sports headlines. Our very own Ali McCoy questions why some Man City fans left Hill Dickinson at 3-1 and reckons Everton's 3-0 draw with City is emblematic of the Premier League.
That sums it up to me why it's the best league, you know. They're all fighting for something. Everton's still hanging on to a European dream.
Pep Guardiola admits the title is in Arsenal's hands now. Meanwhile, we understand Phil Foden's agreed to extend his contract at Manchester City. Now, Nottingham Forest boss Vitor Pereira's hoping for some magic from his medical department after a horrific collision with Chelsea's Robert Sanchez. Morgan Gibbs-White hasn't been ruled out for Thursday and despite a horrific cut has shown no signs of concussion.
Very important play for us. I said to him, you don't need to use the head to heading the balls, just to play.
Villa Forest in the Europa League semi-final second leg is live on Thursday night. Simon Jordan says Villa will need a massive improvement from Emery's side after that showing against Spurs.
That performance in that side was abject. Tielemans was abject. Ross Barkley was a mile off. You know, they were absolutely... Tammy Abraham didn't lift a leg.
Yeah.
You know, they were shocking.
Now, Martin O'Neill's told White and Jordan that he'll make a call on staying on as Celtic manager at the end of the season. Celtic are 3 points off Hearts heading into the Old Firm derby this weekend and told TalkSport it's now a two-horse title race.
Rangers now are and quite a number of points behind Hearts. We're talking about 3 games left. So that would be difficult to overcome at this particular stage. And I think that's the case. It's not impossible. It can happen. You can still win your games.
Hearts are 3 points clear with 3 games to go. Get all the latest on our website, talksport.com.
TalkSport News.
2 ill passengers on board a cruise ship at the centre of a virus outbreak are going to be medically evacuated, and the Prime Minister's promised new laws will be rushed through Parliament to deal with what he calls a crisis of anti-Semitism. Amelia's got more at past.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. With over 400 EV-ready centres across the UK, we're top of the league for electric car owners. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Dry for most places today with variable amounts of cloud and sunny spells. Showery outbreaks of rain in places, mainly in the north, turning cold in the North Scotland.
Cush Jumbo and Peter Capaldi!
It just so happens that it's all You're Amazing.
Right. Paul White! Sir Lenny Henry!
I was face down and the dog sniffed my crotch. It was very, very embarrassing.
Staying out for the summer.
This is Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs with you through until 4 here on TalkSport. Where this afternoon, Andy, please tell us what's coming up.
Well, coming up over the next 3 hours, we'll look ahead to tonight's Champions League semi-final second leg from both Arsenal and Atletico perspectives. Three-weight world champ Duke McKenzie pops in to preview Wardley Dubois.
Yeah,
sorry.
not who's Ward. Yeah,
No idea.
Ward, he's come out of retirement.
Tremendous. And former England batsman Keaton Jennings gives us his pick for a new opener. You looking forward to that?
That's right, yeah. We'll also welcome your tales of anger in the sporting gods. And Fulham supporting Maccabees guitarist, friend of the show, Felix White, makes a welcome return to the studio.
There's all this, plus we'll chat to the man behind a new play about the great British boxer John Conte. We'll tear down some no ball game signs and TalkSport first. Competitive flat pack furniture assembly.
First time we've ever done it. 20 odd years. Competitive flat pack furniture assembly.
It's my new favourite sport, funny enough.
Against Britain's fastest growing sport, against the clock. Yeah, it means you haven't got to go and watch Chelsea, you can go and watch that. Somebody put together. You should sign Billy Bookcase. Sign Billy Bookcase. He's only 18 on a 10-year contract.
Why not?
Yeah. 6 minutes past 1. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Andy.
Yes, good afternoon, Paul. And thankfully, because it was my grandson's birthday.
Yeah, I thought you were there, and it was the Moose who sent a message to you, and the one you sent back, he could only read part of it.
Yes.
Just as he was reporting from the Chelsea Forest game yesterday.
I mean, look, it's not about yesterday's game. Well done to Forest. It's not about yesterday's game. It's the season's over. You know, people having a go at the players. But I said to you, it's like Spurs players under Tudor. It's not the players. It's the manager. The manager does matter. Who it is and the whole structure behind it. And so this season's over. It's done. Now it's the biggest decision in the club's history. They've just got to get it right. If they don't get it right, then everybody can see the writing's on the wall and what's going to happen next season.
You think you could be the Tottenham?
Oh yeah, very much so.
Next
Because
year,
historically, teams that finish very poorly take that form into the new season.
Unless they bring in different personnel.
And it means it's not just about who they give the job to. It's about admitting they're wrong, about changing their model of the sort of players they buy, and interfering with the manager. Let the manager manage. And you know, go for somebody that fans want. You know,
who would be your number one then?
It's Iriola or Xabi Alonso for me.
Right,
you've got to be Spanish. I wouldn't seriously.
Got to be Spanish.
Well, look at all the best managers are Spanish. They are. You know, that's a fact.
Can you think of any Spanish managers you wouldn't have?
Not off the top of my head. I mean,
One day Ramos.
Yes, probably. You know,
okay, fair enough.
Types, you know. But I don't think Marco Silva would be a good idea. I think the fans would not be happy about that.
Well, it'd be fine if it's that old thing. If it's fine if it goes well, but if you bring a Fulham manager and it doesn't start well, I say, well, what do you expect?
It would be a bad decision. It would just be another bad decision.
Yeah.
I mean, if they get it wrong, we're all done. That's it. You know, that's the end of it. You know, and there's no question about that. So it's up to them.
Yeah.
You know, they tell me they're going to. You know,
yeah, I've noticed you had a bit of a chat with somebody in the hierarchy, and maybe you could look without going into too much there, because it was a private conversation. Yeah. You're a bit more zen about it. I think you do suspect things are going to be different next year.
Well, I think they have to be, and they tell me they're going to be. So you know, that's the situation. It can't go on like the way it's going. It just can't. And if they do, well, we know what's going to happen.
Well,
and also the other thing. The final thing I'll say is there are 5 people, decision makers at Chelsea. And when they appoint the new manager, they better all be on board with it. Otherwise, if they're not, they have to leave. Their position is untenable. Because we all know what will happen. The minute they lose a game, they'll start briefing against the one they didn't want. You know, you know how it works in football. So basically, they have to all be on board with the choice, and we'll see what it is. But meanwhile, good.
What a turnout. What a turnout and what a turn up last night is what I really meant to say.
Yeah.
No one was quite expecting that, and City seemed to be well on top. And Everton had had a few chances.
I knew it was going to be a tough game for City. That is, Everton away is a tough fixture.
It is.
You know, they're a good side, and they started brilliantly, City. But you know, by the end of it, they were lucky to get a draw. And
the implosion was quite spectacular, wasn't it, when it happened?
It was. Yeah, absolutely.
And you feel, and I mean, look, you know, Declan Rice was saying it wasn't done, and but you kind of sense it is now.
I do. I feel that when it was very interesting. We talked to Harry Symeou about this. I said this to you on the phone this morning. That when Arsenal lost to City, instead of it being like a real sort of downer and a wake-up call and they're not going to win the title. They reacted in completely the opposite way. It was as if they thought, yeah, we lost the game, but we played really well. And actually, we are better than this team.
Yeah.
And we were a decent side. And they seem to take confidence from losing, which is a mad thing. But since then, they played really, really well in that game against City, who were unlucky to lose. And since then, they've done really well. And it's all there for them now, isn't it? If they win tonight, which they should do.
Yeah.
And I can't see them slipping out. I was at Brentford on Saturday. I thought West Ham a little bit unlucky in the first half. It's like, it's like Chelsea yesterday. Games hinge on those moments that change things.
Yeah.
West Ham didn't get the goals that they could have done, the woodwork and all that. And then after that second half, as soon as Brentford scored, you suddenly saw this team that, I can see why they're down the bottom.
I've actually been quite surprised in light of what we saw last night and how quickly things can change and how volatile it all is, and anybody can beat everybody else, as Ali was saying this morning on breakfast. I've been West Ham fans of our acquaintance, Tom Rennie, our mate Tom Rennie on social media, I've noticed. Martin Kellner, West Ham fan, waving the white flag, saying that's it, we're done. I mean, on what basis exactly, really? I mean, it's far too early to say
I think the fact that Spurs have really picked up. I mean, I said to you, De Zerbi's given Spurs an identity in just a short while.
Yeah.
They look like they know what they're doing. They're all on the same page. Gallagher, suddenly the Gallagher that we've seen before. This is the difference a good manager can make.
Sure.
It's fantastic. And suddenly they look like,
Taking all that on board, there are still no guarantees. Shot can go in off someone's backside. Anything can happen in the game.
Spurs could lose to Leeds, and West Ham could beat Arsenal. Of course they could, but it's
if
not.
I was a West Ham fan, I would be waving the white flag if my team had not laid a glove on Brentford. But I mean, from a manager's point of view, and even the players, they'll go out. I mean, look, it's not going to be easy against Arsenal, obviously, but I think
they knew they needed to get something out of that and hope that Villa played like Villa and Spurs would find it difficult, but they didn't. And, they were completely outplayed by Tottenham, and deservedly so. So,
we shall see. One of the breakout star, you might argue, of that Manchester City-Arsenal game that City won, and Andy was saying Arsenal got a lot of confidence from, was Arsenal Bottle Man, the Manchester City fan who took a little plastic water bottle, took time to print off a nice little Arsenal, got his Pritt stick out and
beautiful
stuck it
bit
to
of
the
karma,
front,
isn't it? We all love that.
took it into the... And look, football karma comes for you, doesn't it, in a big way. And the cameras found him last night with his head in his hands, a slightly broken man.
Yeah. Karma and Schadenfreude.
Two great players.
Yeah, tremendous.
You do not mess. You do not mess with the football gods. That's the thing I think we all learn. That's why we've never been gloaters. I never think it's a good idea. That
it's not,
because just around the corner, the football gods are waiting to kick you in the nads, aren't they?
I have found it funny, though, that people like Andy Goldstein said, I feel really sorry for Chelsea fans. I've read that a lot in places. You think, no, you don't. Nobody does. I wouldn't. With another club, I'd be delighted.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? That's what football fandom is.
Exactly. But you don't necessarily rub it in people's faces.
No, you don't.
So, messing with the sporting gods, football or otherwise, have you done that? Have you messed with the sporting gods? Have you done that thing where you, and then it all backfires on you?
Yeah.
So, do let us know. Furniture footballers, Ricky Ottoman. Oh, I didn't ask for that, Ben. Oh, blimey, getting loads of them in. Furniture footballer Fabian Chair. There is actually a player called Chair who plays for QPR, of course.
I know, there is.
Thank you, Ben. And we didn't ask for these.
Is that apropos of what? Anything?
This is the flat pack furniture.
Oh, yes. Okay.
You are with us, aren't you?
No,
today?
I know.
Yeah.
I couldn't equate the two things.
Pedro Cabinetto says, Ben's gone mad. Oh, we didn't even ask for him. Cole says, IKEA.
Your one.
Huh?
But your one, the old Celtic.
Harold Flatpack, the old Celtic player, yeah. And IKEA Casillas. That's not bad. Cristiano draws Naldo. That's not working, Cole, is it, really? Let's be honest. We didn't ask for any of these.
He's not a footballer, but Fabio Wardrobe.
Yeah. It's okay if you want to open it out into sport. So go on then. Do your worst. It can be furniture. I mean, I wanted no part of this, but you set the agenda, folks.
Ricky Ottoman.
That's already in.
Oh, is it? I didn't hear that one.
I'm still doing your memory man act.
No, I'm disturbed today. You've got to give me a bit.
Yeah, okay. Well, you've been disturbed for years.
No, seriously, because this is what happens. I woke up at 4:15 and you can't get back to sleep.
Really?
Aren't
you used to losing by now?
No, because the thing is, we won. We won last week. Leeds. So I'd had
They sucked you
I had
in,
a week
did they?
where I'd slept all right. I was thinking,
They gave you a false sense of security.
Yeah, that's it. So
I once helped my mate partner and I a wardrobe, but he kept complaining he's a flat pack bully, says Paul. Everybody's gone flat pack mad. We are going to speak to the winner of the World Flat Pack Assembly Championships that took place in London recently. She comes from Wigan and she was defending her title and she knocks him. She gets the golden Allen key.
wow,
What about that? So anyway, we'll tell you what. That's not the main
Clive
thing.
Allen key? Clive Allen.
Clive Allen key. Yeah, go on then. Don't you start. Why don't you say, Ricky? Yeah, go on, do that again.
I won't.
It's Paul Hawksby, Andy Jacobs here on TalkSport. We're going to kick off talking to Harry Symeou, our Arsenal fan, broadcaster, podcaster. They're going to get such a lift from last night going into tonight's game, definitely. Why wouldn't you? Because it's back in your hands. So I thought they were going to win before tonight. I certainly think they're going to win tonight. We'll keep you updated with that one in kick-off, all the goals as they go in. Darren Bent, Kevin Hatchard will be part of the team, keeping in touch with Arsenal, Atletico Madrid tonight. Terry Gibson joins us. Why have Atletico generally been pretty bad at home?
Away from home.
Away from home, sorry. Yeah, the exact opposite of that. So we will have a chat with Terry about that later on. And Mbappe, interesting story about Mbappe today. We'll run past him. Felix White popping in to see us. Duke McKenzie, loads to come. We'll kick off with Arsenal. We're here with Toolstation. Check out your wide range of garden power tools with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next stop, Toolstation.
Pards. I am relieved. Do you know what's funny? Obviously, being on this incredible station that we're part of.
Yes.
I meet lots of people out there say, I love you and Pards on a Sunday. But the Spurs contingents, they look at me as like, are we going to stay up? When people ask me, are we going to stay up? It's like, I've got the answers. Yeah. They think like, I'm telling you, I've been saying it on Inside Spurs.
I have to say, when I go to games, that's the main question I get asked. Because who's it going to be, Spurs or West Ham?
On the Inside Spurs podcast, I've been the positive one. Abby, Sonny, I'm talking about you two.
Negative Nellies.
Negative Nellies, right? You
can't have it, mate. You can't have it in a relegation fight.
I said it on the podcast this week. Do you remember Euro 96, the night before England and Scotland? Yuri Geller was on Fantasy Football going, if there's a penalty, we move the ball together.
Touch the ball. About Yuri Geller.
No?
No, I've told you, I've got history with him. We got history at Reading, me and him. No, I'm not going to go there. I want to talk about Spurs. What a performance. What sometimes you bring in a manager and he earns his corn. I'm not being funny. Tudor, right? He wouldn't know what going to Villa would be about, really.
No.
You know, he's seen it on the TV, but he hasn't experienced it. Of course, De Zerbi's been there. He knows what's going to happen. He knows where they are. They've played a European game. He knows he's got to put a performance of experienced players right on it and give them not an inch.
And that's what
they done.
Yeah.
And they did it brilliantly. Played Gallagher in the 10. He closed everything down. And Richarlison, by the way, that was one of his best performances for Spurs in terms of work rate, commitment.
Jumbo and Peter Capaldi!
It just so happens that it's all you're amazing.
Right. Paul White! Sir Lenny Henry!
I was face down and the dog sniffed my crotch. It was very, very embarrassing.
Staying out for the summer.
Tonight, the headline story is all about the title. The subplot is the race for Europe. Monday night drama.
First half, it's not easy to create chances the way they defend.
Doku's on the edge of the D, tries a left-footed shot into the corner. What a goal!
And we proved that we were much better in the second half.
And now it's come through the Barry, who slips it home. What a mistake by Gane!
We know it. Everton always has been tough.
It's towards an impact. O'Brien rises and heads it home. Hold the back page. This might be the moment.
He did say set pieces could be vital for Everton this evening.
Here comes the Barry, who taps it home. It's 3-1 Everton, and Manchester City's title charge is falling apart on Merseyside.
We took what we could. We just couldn't quite see it out.
Haaland going through the middle, trying to get them back in the game. Oh, he smashed it over Pickford and scored. It comes to Doku. It's right-footed. It's in. He scored in the last second of the game with the last kick of the game. Arsenal, win all your games and you'll be champions, because it's finished Everton 3, Manchester City 3.
Yes, it was. Despite that late Doku equaliser, you do sense it's not going to be enough. And Arsenal going to tonight's game with Atletico Madrid, I imagine quite chipper, and it's would have given him a big boost this evening, knowing it's back in their hands. I'm sure with a spring in his step is Arsenal fan podcaster Harry Symeou. Hi, Harry.
How you doing, guys? You all right?
Yeah. Yes, I take it you were going nuts last night. It was almost like you'd scored a goal, wasn't it, when Everton were slotting them in?
It was a strange one, because I was on TalkSport 2 earlier in the day yesterday, and I said to Ollie Klink that I wasn't even going to watch the game, that I was better off just switching it off, avoiding it all night and just checking the score at 10 p.m. That way the disappointment when Manchester City inevitably won, in my mind, would only last a few minutes. But I got roped in at halftime. I saw that Everton were 1-0 down. A few friends had said to me, it's not going well. And I just couldn't resist watching it, tuning in. And I have to say, Everton in that second half were outstanding. And yes, it could have been better. It could have been 3 points for Everton, and it could have put Arsenal in a position that's more commanding than the one they're in now. But, even if Arsenal are to draw a game, as long as their goal difference is still superior to Manchester City's, that's not going to be a problem. I don't want it to come down to that. I think there's clarity in the task now for Arsenal. 3 wins and you're champions. But it feels like this was a big momentum shift. And given that just a few weeks ago, it felt like it had swung the other way up at the Etihad, to have it swing back our way with 3 games to go this late in the season is a real good feeling. But now we've got to go and seize the moment.
It's strange, isn't it? The teams have gone in opposite directions since that meeting. I was saying that Arsenal took great confidence from it. Since then, City struggled against Burnley. They weren't great against Southampton in the Cup. And then last night, they dropped points again. Whereas Arsenal, since that game, have gone from strength to strength, Harry, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the Newcastle game was still a bit here and there in terms of Arsenal's performance. But then they went out to Madrid and I thought put in a really good display, getting that 1-1 draw and coming back to Emirates Stadium with it all to play for. Opportunity to make a Champions League final for the first time in 2 decades. You got to be chuffed and pleased about that. And then I thought the Fulham game for me was the real performance that we've been crying out for almost, a performance where we turned up, we were sort of convinced early on about the team's intent, the intensity with which they were playing, score a goal after 8 minutes, and all of a sudden it's one-way traffic. And there's that flair again about Arsenal, and there was that sort of drive and all the rest of it. And everybody just felt so good after the weekend. Like, it just kind of got people believing again that, no, actually this team, when it does have players back, when its key men are fit and firing, this team is as good as any team in this division. And it was a real good performance that day. So now we take that on with the buzz of what happened last night as well into tonight's huge game.
Now, on to tonight. Sam, interesting piece by Sam D in the Telegraph today, sort of saying, how do Arsenal approach tonight's match? And he says it's a kind of tale of 2 left-backs in Capier or Calafiori. And they, because of their different styles and the way they play, you may be, whoever he picks may give you a clue as to the way he's going to approach it. I mean, do you want to see him on the front foot? Do you want to see him go and really go toe-to-toe with Atletico? Do you want him to be a bit cautious? How would you like the team to play it tonight?
I think I want to see the right balance. I think when you're at home, I think you can use the energy from the crowd. And I think the opportunity, as I said already, to make a Champions League final should be all the encouragement you need to take the game to Atleti. But you also want to see your team be streetwise, because at this level in the Champions League, anybody can punish you. Atletico Madrid are not the defensive well-drilled, robust side that we've become accustomed to over the years anymore. And I sort of got that impression from speaking to a number of Spanish journalists and people that cover the club when I was out there last week for the first leg. It feels like they're more of an offensive team than they are a defensive team now. So maybe there is a case that says just not hold back, but be a little bit more sensible and pick your moments to go after them, pick your moments to sort of try and get in behind them, because at some point they're going to have to come out as well. So it feels like a bit of a chess match. I think Mikel Arteta summed it up brilliantly in his press conference when he said, we're going to have to be ready to play a number of games within the game. And I think that was a really powerful message to say to the players, like, the game might start one way, it might go in a different direction. The subs are going to be important. We're going to have to be able to change things on the fly, adjust to the tactical problems that they're causing us. So I think it is one of those where you can have a game plan, but the game plan can go out of the window after 5 minutes. So you've got to be ready to adapt at all times. And that's what I want to see from Arsenal. I want them to be streetwise. I want them to be aggressive where possible, but I also want them to be adaptable on the night, because I think that's necessary.
But looking at the other semi-final, it does feel, I mean, you know, these teams are playing for the right to lose to either Bayern or PSG. I cannot see Arsenal would have to play at absolute max, and those two teams would have to play some way below their best, and I don't see it. But look, they'll be glad to be there, and that gives them a chance. Who knows?
I'm not sure about that. I mean, I know that they played a brilliant semi-final. They're both great teams, but there are absolutely no guarantees. I mean, are you feeling like that at all?
No, look, if you'd have asked me 2 weeks ago, before Arsenal sort of started getting results again and turning their performances around, then maybe there was a part of me that was looking at it and thinking, you know, whether it's PSG or Bayern doesn't really matter, because they're both phenomenal sides and we're just not at that level right now. But I think you'd rather play them in a one-off game, which is what the final will be, obviously. And I think on top of that, you know, if Arsenal were to go on and win the Premier League between now and that potential Champions League final, there'll be a whole different feeling around the football club. There won't be that stress and that pressure about going and winning a trophy. It will be, we're the Premier League champions. Let's go make this not just a great season, but a phenomenal and arguably our greatest season ever as a football club. So I think winning the Premier League first will give Arsenal freedom. I don't think Arsenal should be afraid to lean on their defensive identity. They are a team that can shut people out in a way that many others can't. And Bayern and PSG, the reason you got a game like that was because both sides are so front-footed. Maybe we could be one of their kryptonites. And I think when you look at the game that we had against PSG in the Champions League last season, there were points in it where they were clearly better than us, but there were points in it where it looked quite even as well. So I think we've got to believe if we get there, but we've got to get there first.
Enjoy the game tonight, Harry. All the best. Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Harry Sim, you there?
I can't think of anything more horrendous than Arsenal doing the double. It's time to emigrate, really, isn't it? Let's be honest.
I'm sure he'll be very happy for them, man.
Oh, yes. Tremendous.
Now, the latest episode of the TalkSport Daily podcast available now as Angelina Kelly is joined by European football expert Kevin Hatchard. They're going to react to City losing ground in the title race after that 3-3 draw with Everton and look ahead to Arsenal Atletico as we did there. Tonight, you can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts. We talked about the sporting gods always waiting around the corner to give you a kicking. If you football karma, you remember the Manchester City fan who did the Arsenal bottle. The cameras found him last night. Wasn't quite as chipper yesterday evening because he took on. He defied the sporting gods and it never works. Ben says, I definitely went too early. I had a load of Lincoln away, ole stickers made. Oh. So I think it's me who's going to keep Spurs up if they do stay up, says Ben. Yes, what have we got here? We want some more of those. Talksport.com, text 1889, tweet TSH&J. When I was playing under-15s footy, we reached the regional final, says Andy in the Black Country. I hadn't missed a penalty all season. We got a last-minute pen to win the game. All the lads wanted to take it. I can only describe it as a Chris Waddle. Luckily, we did win it in extra time, says Andy. So, yeah, taking on the sporting gods, football karma, sporting karma, talksport.com, text 1889, tweet TSH&J. And if you really do want to do some more of your flat pack furniture, sports stars, then do your worst. That's all to come.
Gentlemen, good morning. Calling all the way from Sydney, Australia.
Good morning.
Lovely to speak to the supply teachers today, as the headmaster and Principal White and Jordan not working today. Alex, you might remember me. I rang up just before the Europa Cup final last year, and you were going on about victory parades and buses and things like that. And we still managed to beat you in an awful game, but we had no Kulusevski, Bergvall and Maddison. And I did hear Adam Nathan, who you quoted, who is the purveyor of the finest gin and tonics in North London, said that you were kind of veritably choking in the quinoa bowl during the Brentford-West Ham proceedings.
He definitely doesn't eat quinoa.
Well, I'm being ironic, but the reality is this is the first month that I've gone to work in Sydney with a veritable spring in my step for quite a while. Full credit to De Zerbi. We've got a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I did speak to Simon and Jim 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I said that we were down, and we're not there yet. We've got a long way to go, but De Zerbi, in a short period of time, he's been clever. He hasn't imposed De Zerbi ball on them. He's gone about with the vibes, as the kids would say, boosting the morale. And, Tudor, much maligned. We got them running and fitter again, and he gave them a base for De Zerbi to play the way that they did yesterday. So, and that's for all the...
Ali McCoy calls Everton's 3-3 draw with Man City proof the Premier League is the best in the world.
Tell you what I'm not having.
Yeah.
Those City fans leaving at 3-1. What was that all about?
I know.
What was that all about?
Yeah, and then hurtling back in at 3-2. I mean, they've had so many great years. Come on. You can't believe it.
Man.
Pep Guardiola admits the title is now firmly in Arsenal's hands. Meanwhile, we understand despite his bit part role this season, Phil Foden's agreed terms on extending his contract at Man City. Morgan Gibbs-White's been told he won't need to head the ball if he's fit to play for Forest on Thursday. Here's Vitor Pereira.
Very important player for us. I said to him, you don't need to use the head to heading the balls, just to play.
Gibbs-White's looking like Frankenstein's monster after a collision with Chelsea's Robert Sanchez. Villa versus Forest in the Europa League semi-final second leg is live on TalkSport on Thursday night. Now, would Hearts winning the Scottish Premiership be bigger than Leicester? Hearts' all-time top goal scorer, John Robertson, says it would.
We've got two absolute juggernauts of the game up here. Since Graham Souness came in under Ali's time, he changed the landscape of Scottish football. Nobody's been able to get anywhere near Rangers or Celtic.
After beating Rangers, Hearts could be 6 points clear of Celtic before Sunday's Old Firm. There's more, as ever, at talksport.com.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs here on TalkSport. You may remember a few weeks back we were chatting about the Culture, Media and Sport Select Committee's report that said they would like to see a lot of the no ball game signs that you see in sort of blocks of flats and other open spaces come down to get people a bit more active. Well, our next guest from LDM Movements is linking up with London Sport as an ambassador for the More Ball Games campaign. Hopefully they can take that nationwide. You'll probably know him from YouTube and TikTok and lots of stuff like that. It's Jamie Shawyer. Good afternoon, Jamie.
Good afternoon.
So, yeah, tell us about this involvement, because I suppose, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing if people have seen you playing futsal on YouTube.
Nifty footwork.
Yeah, some very nifty footwork, and I think that takes hours of work on most of it. It's kind of street football, cage football, isn't it?
Essentially, yeah. It's fancy street football, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's exactly what you said. Obviously, growing up playing in cages in estates throughout London is pretty much what allowed me to develop a skill set to do what I'm doing today.
Yeah. I mean, cages, I don't know what the process is to get them up. They sort of do go into estates, but there's still a lot of places where people can't play sport at all, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I see them everywhere. To be honest.
You're probably noticing them more now, because I have.
Exactly, yeah.
The last 3 weeks, I've noticed, I've been looking out for them on open space. Sure, there's more than you think, isn't it, these no ball game signs?
Yeah, it's almost like, what's that theory, like yellow car theory? When you talk about the yellow car, you start noticing it. It's like that. I've been noticing it a lot. But yeah, obviously we're trying to get down as many as possible. That's the whole part of the campaign. Because some of them are in like silly places as well. I understand if it's somewhere like which is understandable, but a lot of the time I think they're quite unnecessary, and just let kids play football, man.
Yeah, I mean they did. There was when I was a kid, they still had them in our flats, and we still played anyway. But you'd obviously get told off.
Yeah.
But and moved on. Now go and play up your own end. I know you. See, your dad likes it.
Yeah.
Saying all that sort of stuff.
Brilliant, isn't it?
But I mean, you're right. They've gone up in places where they shouldn't have done, because it's just too easy for local authorities. Just stick one there. We don't want kids playing football there, running around there.
How accessible is futsal though? 'Cause it's a brilliant game when you watch it. People playing it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty accessible. Obviously, at the moment, with my project and whatnot, I'm trying to grow the sport and make it become a lot more accessible, a lot more well known. In the UK, anyways, around the world is massive, but in the UK, not so much.
Yeah.
But it's pretty accessible.
Can you play outside, or is it always in?
So you can, but you don't tend to. So there's an outside court in West London at Westway, which is quite local to where I grew up. But majority of the time it is indoors, which is good because you never have to like cancel games for like waterlogged pitches and that sort of things. But yeah, it's quite accessible, but trying to make it even more accessible.
And are there plenty of places to play it in the UK? Are they growing as well?
Not really. That's a problem. Obviously, with the team that I run, the venue that we rent to be able to play it at is about 2,000 lines on the court. So that we're playing and we just don't even know what's going on. We're like, are we playing to the netball, to the volleyball, to the basketball? But then you'll go to Spain, for example, and you'll walk down the road and you'll just see an outdoor one which is free to play on for anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's part of just football culture, futsal culture, because in those countries, for example, when you're a young kid, you only play futsal growing up until about 11 or 12 years old. And that's why they're so technically gifted, to be honest. But yeah, we're working on getting some more venues in the UK for sure, hopefully.
So how have you grown your team? And, because you've got this massive presence on social media and huge followings and stuff. How did that all come about?
In all honesty, I didn't start with the team. I've been doing it now for about 10 years, but the first 5 to 6 years, there wasn't a team. I started just playing street football, basically. I played throughout academies and whatnot, the traditional football route. But then about 16, 17 years old, I started playing street football, just nutmegging people and like walking past, that sort of stuff. Filmed it, didn't really think anything of it, filmed it, people really enjoyed it. And then from there, it just grew. So I took the walking nutmeg element into 1v1. Then I started challenging academies. Then I started challenging professional footballers. And then from there, grew a fan base. And then I missed playing futsal because I had to stop because of YouTube. And then I intervened the two together. And, made the team.
How do the academies view that kind of sort of street football within an academy structure? Are they a bit suspicious of it? They try and coach it out of you a bit or not?
Yeah.
That's not a good thing to.
They probably say, let's have elements of that, but it can't all be that. Is that the sort of stuff you get?
Yeah, 100%. I remember when I was a kid. Obviously, part of my game was all skills, but a lot of it was just be stronger, be faster, which of course is part of the game. But I think, in my opinion, anyways, I think in England, a lot of the philosophy is find athletes and try to teach them technically rather than finding technically gifted footballers and helping them physically. You know.
So do they look to recruit? What they look to recruit from futsal? You think the clubs do, or don't they do enough of that?
I think they're starting to a lot more now. So, for example, myself, when I was 16, I spent some time at Millwall, and that was from playing in a futsal tournament.
Okay.
So yeah, even like firsthand, definitely clubs are picking up players from futsal tournaments, 100%.
We love to see players like, look at Elise at the moment. You know, he's a kind of product of that, as Ebreche Eze, and players like that. You know, we love watching footballers who do that kind of stuff. That's why we go to matches, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And I think, in all honesty, I think especially this season, you see people talking about it all the time. Saying, a lot of people saying that football's become a bit boring, a bit too stats based, a bit too just percentages, you know. And those are the players that you enjoy watching. I know myself personally, anyways. That's the players that I enjoy watching. Like, as you said, Elise's and the best players in the world, they've all played futsal. Even if you watch Ronaldinho's documentary, literally in the first episode, he mentions it. He says that's how he grew up. So
that's why we all loved that game last week, because that's what we all want from football. We want,
yeah.
Even on Saturday with the Brentford West Ham, both teams were going for it. That is what football should be. There are far too many games where there's one team going for it, the other team sitting back, trying to be defensive, I was even thinking, why don't they go 4 points for a win and 1 point for a draw?
Oh, you're starting to mess with it.
Seriously.
I don't know. I don't think people even like that one.
But seriously, you've got to do something, because I think there's no question football is so much a better game when both teams want to win.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah.
So what form is your sort of ambassadorial role with the More Ball Games campaign going to take? You're not going to sort of go to places in the dead of night with a screwdriver and take them down. So what sort of...
No comment. No.
Yeah. So, I mean, is it just kind of putting pressure on local authorities and to say, look, come on, this could be a space where people could exercise and play a bit of football, and it wouldn't break anyone's windows and it wouldn't be an issue? And
I mean, it depends how good of a player you are. You got to make sure your accuracy is at least, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, jokes aside, that's exactly what my role is. Obviously trying to put eyeballs on the campaign, reach the right audiences. Of course, putting pressure on local authorities also. But of course, my audience is very much so the audience that are affected by the signs, you know? So not only put pressure on the local authorities, but also show that demographic of young people that, like, there's people trying to sort this, you know?
Well, that's good to hear. So if people haven't seen you in action, and I'm showing Andy some stuff earlier on, and we were impressed with the footwork.
Thank you.
Where can we find all your content, Jamie?
London Movements, that is LDN Movements, on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. All
and you watch some in-game stuff and some sort of bits of freestyling and whatever. So, let's hope this works out. We're right behind the campaign. So good to see you, Jamie. Thanks very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Jamie Ashore there from London Movements. It's Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs here on TalkSport. Keaton Jennings, the Lancashire batsman, former England batsman, joining us for a chat. There's a little bit of talk about a switch up of the openers in the England team this summer. He's faced a few in county cricket. We'll get his thoughts on that. And, of course, the evergreen Jimmy Anderson, his teammate, still going strong. We're here with Tool Station. Get your toolbox essentials this spring. Big savings on screws and fixings. Next stop, Tool Station.
Questing sports story of the day is to Super Ali McCoist in Ask Ali. I've got one of mine just quickly, Coisty, to start things off. Cesc Fabregas is currently manager of Como. They are 5th in Serie A. He's been speaking today saying, of course, he wants to manage in the Premier League.
Yes.
Do you see Cesc Fabregas as the next manager of Chelsea?
Cool. If you're Chelsea fan, you'd bite your hand off for that. if you're Cesc Fabregas, I think you're weighing up that situation extremely carefully because of what's going on up at the top. I mean, surely he's done a great job there, man. I mean, what a job at Como, fantastic. And he will. I don't think there's any doubt that he'll manage in the top flight in England sooner rather than later. But is Chelsea right now the perfect job for Cesc Fabregas? As I mentioned earlier, I mean, Chelsea fans would probably be salivating at the prospect of him coming and taking it, and so they should be. But I think there's warning signs at Chelsea. He'll have looked what's happened recently, Jeff, and he can't have failed to have noticed that it might not just be the perfect environment for him to start his career in England.
No.
Is that fair or harsh?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I just look and think, okay, where is he going to get a better opportunity?
Yeah.
Kush Jumbo and Peter Capaldi!
It just so happens that it's all "You're amazing."
Right. Paul White! Sir Lenny Henry!
I was face down and the dog sniffed my crotch. It was very, very embarrassing.
Staying out for the summer.
Just to remind you that we're going to bring you more live ball-by-ball commentary from the IPL on TalkSport 2, 3 p.m. this afternoon. 5-time champions Chennai Super Kings take on the Delhi Capitals with England's Jamie Overton in action. The easiest way to listen is to download the free TalkSport app, swipe across to TalkSport 2, and you can watch along on the TalkSport Cricket YouTube channel. We'll keep an eye on that for you as well. Felix White pops in later on, big cricket fan, of course, as well as being a Fulham fan. We'll be chatting about the paperback edition of his new book, talking a bit of Fulham cricket and more. And we're talking cricket now, as we're joined by Lancashire and England's very own Keaton Jennings. Hi, Keaton.
Hello, guys. How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, yes, we're good. How's the season so far from a Lancashire point of view for you, Keaton?
It's been all right. We probably had one game against Northants where we should have got over the line, which would have made it a little bit better. But as a whole, it's been okay. We're in a nice position in the table. We need to try and keep our guys fit. We've obviously had a couple of injuries over the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, it's a big 2 weeks coming up for us.
The thing that keeps popping up on my Instagram is Jimmy Anderson taking wickets and looking as good as he's ever looked. He's absolutely amazing. There can't be anybody bowling better in the country than him, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so. I hear he's in for the shot for the next test, to be fair.
He should be.
He should be, though. He should be.
You should pick the best player on form, and he is, so I don't know. But they probably won't, will they, I suppose?
Yeah, look, I think that ship sailed. I think Jimmy's played his last test. I think he's fairly comfortable with that as well. I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but yeah, look, he's to stand and slip to a guy that has performed for that period of time, firstly, but to do it at that level, that consistently, like you say, he's still the leading wicket taker and bowled unbelievably well. I mean, still tracking at sort of low 80 mile an hour all the way through the day, which is amazing. So, yeah, look, it's fantastic to watch him go about his work.
Do you, I mean, I'm sure you all say to the younger players, the younger bowlers in the Lancashire Academy in the setup, just look at this guy, look how he's looked after himself. Look at how he's bowling at that age. He must be an inspiration, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think even as a batter, I think he's to like I say, to be a performer for, 25 years worth. He's playing in the same team as guys that were born before he made his first class debut. So it's absolutely mental. The way he goes about his work, the way he goes about preparing, the way he goes about executing his skill is amazing. And actually how nifty get at himself in net sessions or in the game when he doesn't get a skill right is actually quite awesome to watch as well. Because he's still got that hunger and that fire to want to be the best, which is amazing.
It is. Do you think after the disappointment of the Ashes, that county cricket is getting a bit more respect? This season, people are looking at it and thinking these performances matter. These players who are playing well in county cricket should get a chance with England. Whereas I think previously the feeling was, that was one thing. We're just going to pick this group of players and that's it.
Look, I think it goes in ebbs and flows. I think when I made my debut, I think county cricket was sort of valued as the kind of highlights. If you perform, you get recognised generally. I think it goes in ebbs and flows, and I think one thing that the current sort of management's done well is they have backed players for a period of time. I think especially the batter, you need backing. You need to know that people are behind you and you're going to get a run of games, and which is good, even if that's within a squad of 15 players, whatever that looks like. But yeah, look, at the same time, guys now are sticking their hands up to get recognised and play in high honours. So look, it'll be an interesting couple of weeks coming up with selection. I'm glad that's above my pay grade. So I know the question will come from you guys, but it's above my pay grade.
Well, it's good. I think it's good that they've had a slight change of attitude because, like, for example, they wrote off Ollie Robinson. They just didn't look like he'd ever get a look in again. But they made a point of ringing him and saying, look, no, you've still got a chance. And it's kind of inspired him. And he's a decent enough cricketer, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can pick sort of 15 or 20 guys that are sort of your next crop outside that initial 11 that are decent cricketers that are going to stake their claim. And ultimately, you're never going to make everybody happy. I've learned that as a captain. You're always going to have somebody grumpy, which is amazing. But we are blessed at the minute with some high quality cricketers in the UK. So you've got guys playing around the world in 3 formats. You've got guys, superstars of our generation. So it's a tough side to pick, and you're going to have guys that are grumpy being left out.
What did you make of the Ashes, Keaton? And all the subsequent fallout. It makes it a big summer for English cricket. I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on it because of what happened. What did you make of what you saw?
Look, I think the Ashes are always a sort of marker in the ground. I think when you look all the way through, things happen around Ashes series before you get performance reviews, you get all sorts going on. Kookaburra Ball, you always, from that series, if it goes well, suddenly everything's amazing. It's almost that halo effect of let's view the whole system through the lens of the result. So look, I look at the series as a whole. There was moments within that series that I thought it could have swung our way. But it didn't. Ultimately, Australia are an unbelievably good side to try and turn over. They're strong all the way through. They've got options and they performed, which I think ultimately is why they came out on top in the series. But yeah, look, it'll be an interesting side to pick in the next couple of weeks as well. It's a big summer for English cricket. And it's a summer where I think fans want to win.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about Emilio Gay maybe getting a look in at Durham, your old county. I don't know if you've seen much of him.
Yeah, we saw quite a bit of him last week, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he's a very good cricketer. He scored runs over the last sort of 18 months or so. Ultimately, whether they go with somebody new or they go with Crawley, that's up to the selection panel to decide what they want to do. If you're going to say you're going to back county cricket, then you've got to pick your guy scoring the most runs. If not, you need to go with somebody that you're going to back for a period of time. I think if they do go with Emilio, I hope he gets a run of games. Same with various other guys that they're talking about. I don't think it's, especially in that opening spot, maybe because I've got a bit of a soft spot in my heart for an opener. I think you need time and you need to bed yourself in and go about it your own way.
I mean, in your years in the England setup in the regime, did you feel backed in that way? Did you feel that, I can go out and play pretty freely simply because I know I'm going to be given a chance?
Yeah, I think so. I think Rooty, I think when I look back at my career, I think I owe a lot to Rooty. I think he absolutely backed me. He backed me to the hill, and I probably wouldn't have played half the games that I did if it wasn't for him. Probably need to say that to him instead of live on air somewhere, but it's. I think when I reflect honestly in my own performance, I probably wasn't good enough to allow myself to go and play freely and actually give the best of my talent, if that makes sense. I think Sibba said it the other day. I'll probably say the same thing. I'm a very different player now than I was. My last test match was the start of 2019. That's 7 years ago. So I've had a few more grey hairs and a few more punches on the nose since then. But also that's evolution of a cricketer. I was 25, 26 and my international career was over. And that's the way it is. That's my journey and my path. And you go elsewhere and try to play a trade.
I didn't go into the nitty gritty of the auction and selection process. I know you've played 100 before. You're playing 100 this summer.
No, unfortunately not. Didn't get picked up. So I'm with the Red Rose in the One Day Cup. So yeah, we've got our first game at Sedberg, which is always a nice. I think we've only got 2 or 3 days up there this year, but it's always a nice couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, it's encouraging with so much stress on white ball and franchise cricket. The attendances for these county games, the early county, have been really encouraging. And you see the Oval, big crowds at the Oval for county cricket. I think it's good. But
yeah, I mean, I wonder why that is, because you've probably had your fair share of 3 men and a dog, haven't you, over the years? But is it picking up a bit, you think?
I think we've always been lucky. I mean, the two counties I played at, Durham and Lancs, we've always had a really strong following. Very local feel, a very sort of family orientated feel around people getting to the ground and supporting the lads, which comes with the downside of when you don't perform, you get absolutely nailed. But I've always felt like we do have really good support. I know you go to some grounds and it's slightly different, but I've always felt like we have a really passionate and dedicated following that love watching Lancs and love watching us play and win.
Good stuff. Well, good to talk to you, Keaton. All the best for the rest of the summer. Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys. Go well, eh?
There we are. There's Keaton Jennings, Lancashire batsman, former England batsman. Our thanks to him, and lots more cricket coverage to come on the Cricket YouTube channel and the Cricket podcast, following on podcast over the summer. We're going to be reunited with an old mate later on. He's the world's most travelled goalkeeper. It's official. I think he's played everywhere in the world. He's got 1,000,001 stories, stolen penguins, nearly dying on the pitch, former Forest goalkeeper. Lutch Pfannenstiel, he's currently the sporting director of Aberdeen. So we'll get his thoughts on what's going on in the SPL and talk a bit of Germany. And when he was at Hoffenheim, he worked with Julian Nagelsmann. So we'll talk a bit about Germany in this World Cup. So we'll chat to Lutz later on. Duke McKenzie pops in. Some big stories in the world of boxing, including Audley Dubois this weekend. And Felix White, as I say, I'm sure we'll pick up on the cricket, but he's here ostensibly to talk about his book on the FA Cup, whatever will be. And he'll be popping in later. That's all to come.
Let's squeeze one more in. Here's the fourth.
Morning, Sean. Ali here, big Arsenal fan. I know you love a curry just like me, but I want to know, what's the best order at a curry house for Sean Dice?
Ali, it's a fair shout. Well, it always starts with Kingfisher or Cobra, obviously. Poppadoms, standard. Mixed platter sometimes. I do the full mixed grill kind of platter. But not for me. I mean, what I do, get it on the table. Everyone has a munch. Everyone dives in. I do like the hot ones. If I'm in the mood, which is rare because it's so hot, is a chicken tikka or a prawn naga, which is incredibly hot. Jalfrezi, still hot, but, manageably hot. But now and again, you just want something a bit of flavoursome, even like something soft like a butter chicken mixed with a bit of naga. You get that going on, and you're really on to a winner then.
Yeah.
Pilau rice I like normally on mushroom rice, garlic coriander naan, now and again a chili naan, depending on what food I'm having, onion bhaji, anything else that's on the go. I just love it on there because I do love a pint and a curry. It's my
I like a bit of mehdi gosht, and you've got to have dal. You've got to have taka dal. You just
Koister, I'm going to tell you, Koister's lad, I had a curry with Koister and a couple of beers one night in Fletch, and his lad ordered a Peshwari night. Now, I ain't doing it. I ain't having it. So I just absolutely ruined him. I said, your lad, I said, he needs to have a look at himself. Fruit in a bit of bread, come on.
Yeah. I tell you what, you also need for the ideal Indian, and we had this at the Lowestoft Tandoori. We had an absolute feast, and then at the end of the night, the owner says, I'll give you a lift home in my car, boys.
A little bit later on in the show, Terry Gibson joins a Spanish football expert to give us his take on Atletico at Arsenal this evening. We'll keep you in touch with that one from 7. But before all of that, let's bring you these sports headlines with Max Scott.
Talk Sport Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range. Scoring a winning hat-trick of performance, payload and price. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
Thank you, Paul. Good afternoon. With Manchester City held to a dramatic 3-3 draw at Everton, Pep Guardiola admits it is advantage Arsenal in the title race. But Simon Jordan was far from impressed by City's second-half performance, and it looked like they assumed they were just going to win with the score at 1-0.
I watched myself falling asleep in the second half with the way that Man City just strolled around as if it was a gimme. It was like watching a sparring session in boxing. It became so boring, I actually felt like putting something on social media. This is boring. Is this entertaining for people? And then, boom, Everton catch them on the break.
Meanwhile, we understand Phil Foden's agreed to a contract extension at Man City. So with Arsenal now back in the driving seat, our chief football anchor Adrian Durham says it doesn't matter how, Mikel Arteta's just got to get these trophies over the line.
This, it looks like, could well be their season, and they won't care one jot how they get there. But I think it's a massive boost ahead of tonight, and I think the Emirates will be absolutely buzzing tonight. We'll have it from 7 on TalkSport.
Now, after Morgan Gibbs-White's collision with Chelsea keeper Robert Sanchez left him with a Frankenstein-like cut on his head, we're told he's not been ruled out of that huge clash with Villa on Thursday and has had no signs of concussion. Remember, TalkSport's bringing you live coverage of the Europa League semi-final second leg on Thursday night. Meanwhile, Jesse Derry has thanked medical staff after being stretchered off with a head injury in the same game. The 18-year-old Chelsea winger, who was making his top-flight debut at Stamford Bridge yesterday, clashed heads with Zach Abbott just before half-time. And speaking to TalkSport, Martin O'Neill hasn't ruled out staying on at Celtic next season.
Well, we'll see how we stand at the end of the season, and that's nearly upon us now.
They're 3 points off Hearts with 3 games to go and take on Rangers this weekend.
Talk Sport News.
Medics are evacuating 2 crew members from the cruise ship where there's been a deadly virus outbreak, and Sir Keir Starmer's promised to rush through new legislation to tackle anti-Semitism in the UK. Amelia's got more at past.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. The season's changing, so get your car's shim pads and studs checked for spring with a free vehicle safety check. Book in centre or at quickfit.com today.
Dry for most places today with some cloudy and sunny spells. Showery outbreaks of rain in places, mainly in the north.
Lovely sound effect there during Max's bulletin. I thought it was Panto season. I was waiting for the genie to pop up and grant us 3 wishes. Always happens at the worst moment, doesn't
Always
it? The
does,
old, Wasn't us. It was his. But anyway.
Oh, right.
For a change.
It's normally me.
It's normally you. We've done it all once already today.
I have, yeah.
Anyway, it is...
I had a thing of doing it every day. Do you remember at 1:10 it would just go off?
Yeah.
Well, it was actually the producer.
Yeah. Because
trick me.
we were trying to teach you a lesson.
I know.
We would say, "Have you ever turned your phone off?" And he definitely. So the producer every
Bit
day
late to be taught a lesson at this stage in my life.
Clearly not, mate, because you left it on practically every day, and it would be set off. The listeners would be tuning in just for that first 10 minutes to see if you got caught out again. And the crushing look of disappointment on the producer's face when it didn't go off, when you'd remembered.
Now, I'd like to congratulate Sarah Cox for landing a very big job. I've noticed the Radio 2 breakfast show.
Right, okay.
And she's thanked her success coach, Michael Heppel.
Success coach?
Success coach, yes. I'm actually a lack of success coach.
Yeah.
Myself.
If someone's looking for a way out, they should come and see you.
Honestly, some of the stuff, some of his theories, this fella, he says, there's a wonderful tool that makes everyone feel great. A smile.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. I call this the shortest distance between two people. Not only does it make the recipient feel good, but it also makes you feel great. Whether it's in the supermarket or walking down the street, a smile can boost your mindset and can make someone's day. Well, I often smile at people and they just scowl at me back.
Yeah, but you're of an age where it gets a bit creepy. Wandering around the street smiling at people is not a good thing.
What else is there here?
10 restraining orders later.
It's very easy to turn up at an argument you were never invited to.
Okay.
This is
mate, that's you all over though, isn't it? Yeah.
If kindness beats cleverness, it feels good to be right. And being seen as clever has its appeal, but choosing kindness, being open to different views and sharing what you know will take you further.
Yeah. So far, I don't have a problem with any of this.
I don't agree with any of it.
Okay.
Anyway, well done to
you. You could be a curmudgeon coach.
I am.
If there are people in your life who are just a bit too bright and breezy, they're always smiling, they're always nice. Yeah. They could come to you and just be dragged down, couldn't they?
That's what I'm hoping for.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. Now, I was reading about Jethro Tull in The Sun this morning. Jethro Tull's
the band.
Yes. Jethro Tull's Ian Anderson says he lived off dog biscuits before finding fame.
Yeah.
Well, he's just living in the past, isn't he?
Oh, there we are. You need a knowledge of the music of Jethro Tull.
It's not their only, but it's their biggest hit, isn't it?
I did go and see him quite early on as a band.
I did too.
At that stage, and he did have a wet nose, Ian. On stage, you could see he always had a wet nose. So maybe it was the dog biscuits.
It was one of the most shocking starts to a gig I've ever been to.
Oh, you've seen him, have you?
Yeah, I saw him at Kilburn. I tell you, he was tremendous. I mean,
the Gaumont.
Yeah, he started off, it was just him on stage and like sort of
standing on one leg.
Dark, yeah, quite dark, just sort of like playing very gently.
You are listening to TalkSport, by the way. We're doing a deep dive into the music of Jethro Tull, the 70s.
I'm about to get into Princess Eugenie in a minute.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Anyway, he just suddenly the band just blasted out from nowhere. It gave you a sort of really fright.
Stagecraft, they call that.
Oh, yeah, I suppose it
gave you a fright.
I know. She's expecting her third child with that well-known football fan, Jack Brooksbank. Do you remember we discovered her husband, Jack? He's a Chelsea fan. He must be gutted at the moment.
Was he singing Celery yesterday? Have you spotted?
I don't think he was there.
I suppose it would be
like me. I think he left early.
I think it would be like Noel Coward singing Celery, wouldn't it?
It would be. Something like
Noel Coward's version of One Man Went to Mow.
I can't see that. Yeah. We must congratulate the stars, Jerry Lawton.
Yes.
Because Jerry has got this unbelievable ability to write scare stories.
Brilliant.
But now
he's the king of scare stories.
He's really ramping it up for the World Cup. I think there's been...
What's the latest one?
Well, there have been 3 in the last week. The latest one is a threat of Ebola, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where he's got that
What,
from.
in Boston?
Top US stock Ebola warning. Medics are preparing for an outbreak of the World Cup fever. It could be Ebola, Zika, or monkeypox. He's picked all 3, you know. Like,
oh, yeah, take your pick.
Tremendous, isn't it? Then last week it was Wi-Fi. Fans fear poor Wi-Fi will ruin World Cup. Millions of football fans plan to watch the World Cup in the pub because they fear their Wi-Fi at home could crash. Not going to happen, Jerry. It's just not.
Just be our luck that Harry Kane's out with monkeypox, wouldn't it? Missing the final. Honestly, it's not going to happen.
No.
Not going to happen.
It's really incredible. You know, Paul, what was it? Oh yes, you've got to have the right insurance, otherwise you could be in.
Well, I think
evacuation insurance important, says Jerry.
Yeah,
like you're going to be evacuated. There's another scare story. Relax, it's going to be fun. It's a World Cup. It always goes off fine. You always think it isn't, but it always does.
Later on in the show, we have a first. We're going to be. I didn't know this was a sport. Well, it probably isn't, but it's a competitive flat pack furniture building.
Yes.
And we're going to speak to the current world champion who defended her title recently.
She's sensational.
She is. And so you've gone a bit puntastic on it, which we didn't ask, but you just have. People are playing quite fast and loose with what they regard as furniture. You can be the judges. We kick off with John Joe Shelvesy, says Martin in Bromley. I'll accept that one.
I accept that. That's good.
Eric Chipboard Moting says Phil in Whitstable. That's nice.
Yeah.
Duvan Nistelrooy, Osmond. But are you accepting that?
Oh, yeah,
I suppose
divan.
you-
It's good furniture. Yeah, it's part of a bed.
What else we got? Yeah, thank you very much,
That's
Professor.
qualify as furniture.
Yeah, Fabian Shelf says Glennie Esther. That's a Cherry Henry. You can do better than that, Tim the Brum. What else? Oh, yes, Max Dowlman. Oh, where would you be without flat pack furniture and a dowel?
That's very true.
Kevin Phillips Screwdriver says Owen.
that, don't you?
Owen in Rice. Ian Dowell, we've got, of course, formerly Palace manager. He can manage the furniture 11. Jonathan Woodglue can be his assistant. Very good, James. Thank you very much. Table bed Courtois.
Table bed Thibaut Courtois.
Yeah, wherever I say it, it doesn't work, Jim. Doesn't work. Shays Long instead of Shane Long, I guess.
That's
Carlin
good.
Whitney.
Shays Long.
Zinedine Sedan. Yeah, fair enough. Thank you, Carl. Ratan Ibrahimovic says UC. Would they play a flat pack 4? Yes, they would. And Harold Flatpack would be part of it.
Of course
David in Halifax. What else we got? Frank Lampstand. You could have had Frank Lampshade, really, couldn't you, Carlo? Kev? Steve Kettle. I mean, is a kettle? Is it furniture?
The kettle's not furniture.
It's not, is it? The kettle is not. Franz.
Not in any shape.
Franz Carpet. So then we get the idea with that. Talksport.com, text 1889. I think we've reached the nadir, haven't we, with Franz Carpet. Talksport.com, text 1889.
Did you know your career at Talksport was over when somebody said Franz Carpet?
I don't think we ever really recovered from the Franz Carpet moment. I mean, after nearly 26, I know it was Franz Carpet. And then we'd make a documentary. We'd go and meet the bloke who sent that in. And then he says, I'm sorry, I used to like listening to the show every day, and then suddenly you weren't on anymore. And apparently it was my fault.
I know. What can you do? Him and Brian Linford have seen it off.
I think they have. It's only a matter of time. Anyway, still to come. You keep those coming. Talksport.com, text 1889, tweet TSH and J. And goading the footballing gods and all the sporting gods to open it up. This is Manchester City bottle man, who wasn't laughing last night as Everton's goals went in. He did have the bottle in his pocket, apparently.
Yeah, you could see it. Yeah.
But didn't get it out. Didn't get the bottle. Obviously, didn't feel confident enough to do that, because that's football karma for you. That's what it does. That's why gloating is always high risk before the race has been run. So if you've got examples of taking liberties with the sporting gods, do let us know. Talksport.com, text 1889, tweet TSH and J 03717223344. Lutz Pfannenstiel joins us. Former goalkeeper. He's played. I mean, he literally has played everywhere. He holds the record for playing for in every confederation around the world. He's currently the sporting director of Aberdeen. We'll be chatting about that, but of Germany in the World Cup and more with Lutz.
And his time in the MLS and all that as well.
Yeah, of course, that's right. He was working out in St. Louis till a little while ago. So that's all to come. We're here with our good friends at Toolstation. Explore the full collection of garden power tools with top brands such as Karcher and Makita. Next stop, Toolstation.
Michael Carrick feels very comfortable being the Manchester United manager. He looks as if he wants the job. He doesn't get flustered by the fact that he has to wear that blazer and walk down that touchline. He's a natural fit for it, and he said that yesterday, that it feels quite natural for him. This was him speaking after the game yesterday.
It's been a good run, I think. We've obviously beat some very, very good teams, and it's been challenging. Sometimes we won it in some ways, sometimes we've got to win it in other ways, but... I love doing what I'm doing. It's a great position for me to be in. It feels pretty natural, if I'm totally honest. I'm not being blasé, because it's a difficult role, but it feels that I've been here a long time in different times, on and off. But I kind of understand what it brings, and to be sat in this position is a good position to be.
James, just following on from that, Michael, will you be disappointed now if you don't get this job?
We'll have to wait and see, all we can do, I think, when we came in, I think Champions League, to be honest, was a little bit in a distance, and we wanted to try and get back into Europe. So to be where we are, the one the players have put together with 3 games to spare is a good achievement. I see it as just being a step, though. We're not over celebrating it, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I can only do my best for the club and for the players, especially, and try and help them as best as we can, and then see what happens after.
It's the best run that Manchester United have been on since March 2019. Ten Hag did have a 9-game all competitions winning run in late 2022, early 2023, 8 in 10 in the Premier League, but none of them has produced as many as 10 wins in a rolling 14-game Premier League window.
Jumbo and Peter Capaldi!
It just so happens that it's all "You're amazing."
Right. Paul White! Sir Lenny Henry!
I was face down and the dog sniffed my crotch. It was very, very embarrassing.
Staying out for the summer.
There we are. Probably their biggest hit, I would say, apart from the song they dedicated to Andy, Thick as a Brick. That one's called Living in the Past. Of course, Andy was talking about the band fronted by Ian Anderson there. That's Jethro Tull. And it's time now, by the way, for this.
Paddy's Pick on TalkSport with Paddy Power. Can you guess who's made the headlines this week? 18 plus, be careful aware, don't talk.
Yeah, time now for Paddy's Pick in association with our official betting partner, Paddy Power. In Paddy's Pick, I'll ask Andy to identify a mystery sports personality who is Paddy's Pick of the week. You're going to get 5 clues to work out who it is, Andy. And we'll start with £50 in the pot. For every clue we use up without a correct answer, we'll have to take £10 away, I'm afraid. I say I'm afraid because it's all for charity. We're raising funds for Duchenne UK. So I've not turned the page. I don't know what we're dealing with yet.
Okay.
So are you ready?
I am.
Let's play Paddy's Pick. Here we go. Oh, yeah. A man very much in the news today. If you've been reading the newspapers, or certainly post the newspapers coming out. This week's pick is a midfield star who has 6 Premier League title wins to his name and is set to stay at his club until at least 2030.
6 Premier League titles.
If you were looking at the producer's WhatsApp feed into the show today, you would have spotted this story. It's something we could potentially talk about, and maybe will after this.
It's got to be a City player, isn't it? If this won 6 titles.
Yeah.
In the last.
Set to stand till 2030. No?
No, sorry.
Okay. Not in 2017, he won the FIFA Under-17.
Oh, it's Phil Foden.
Of course it's Phil Foden. That's
is.
right. It is indeed Phil Foden. He has since made over 300 appearances for his club, winning 17 honours. Youngest recipient of the Premier League Winners' Medal in 2018. 2019, he won a second Premier League title, became his club's youngest ever goal scorer in the Champions League. 2024, named the Premier League Player of the Season, PFA Player of the Year. It is Phil Foden.
Yeah. It should boost him, actually, because he's had a tough time.
He has.
This will give him confidence.
So signing a new deal that will keep him at the club till 2030, when he'll be 30. So £40, Andy, not so bad for the Shen UK.
Good. We'll take that.
Thanks to our friends at Paddy Power, official H&J betting partner, 18 plus, begamblerware.org.
Paddy's Pick on TalkSport with Paddy Power. Can you guess who's made the headlines this week? 18 plus, begamblerware.org.
The TalkSport Boxing YouTube channel, bringing you the Talk Boxing podcast later on. Duke McKenzie has hot-footed it from that. And three-weight world champ popped in. It's good to see you, Duke, as always.
Good to see you. Excellent, champ. I'm doing really, really well, thanks.
Did you have to have another row with Simon Jordan today? Normally winds everybody up.
Simon's as good as gold. I quite like Simon. He's very diplomatic and
quite like
diplomatic.
Yeah, he speaks his mind.
I don't think he's going to be our man in Washington, is he, Simon? He's not that diplomatic.
No,
maybe that
might be good.
That's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
There's a few things I want to talk about. I suppose Wardley Dubois is the big fight on the horizon. I'm sure you've just been chatting about that as we get ever closer. What's your take on this one, Duke?
That's one of the best fights in world boxing at any weight division. It's probably, in my opinion, the second biggest fight in the world right now, outside of AJ and Fury, in terms of eyes on the prize. But this is a better trade fight. Wardley against Dubois is a better trade fight, and I promise you this, and it's no secret. You're going to get everything in this fight.
Yeah.
There's going to be drama. There's going to be knockdowns. I'm sure it's guaranteed. You know, maybe cuts, but no sort of real infringements. But it's such a good fight, and it's the sort of fight really you want to say you were there, because, like I say, Fabio Wardley is such a much improved world champion since winning that belt. Now he's got that strap around his waist. He's a much improved fighter, and in Daniel Dubois, he's going against an ex-champion who's coming off. I would say it was a horrific loss to Alexander Usyk, but losing to Usyk is no disgrace.
No.
But he's lost to Usyk nonetheless. I'd like to see Dubois have a couple of soft touches, a couple of fights to come back with, a couple of guys he could just roll over to get his confidence back, to get his timing back. But he hasn't had that. He's gone straight back into the lion's den, and now he's going to be fighting Fabio Wardley, who is a good world champion.
Yeah.
Fabio Wardley's the sort of guy you don't call Fabio Wardley out. He's not that guy. You can't play with Fabio Wardley, because Fabio Wardley now, not only is he a good puncher, but when you win that belt, it gives you about 10-15% extra. And if Fabio Wardley is 10 or 15% extra now, and he's already world champion, then that 10-15% would be the difference between winning and losing.
Sounds like you're favouring him.
Yeah, I think Wardley wins.
His by knockout, which he's done a fair bit, hasn't he? I mean, there's been times when he's been trailing in fights and he's found that punch, hasn't he?
Fabio Wardley always manages to turn it around, and he's not afraid to get hit. He gives one to take one. But like I say, since becoming a champion now, you learn to miss a few shots. And if you can miss a few shots and still deliver, the punches that you normally give out, then that makes you a very dangerous customer. So, like I say, I like Daniel Dubois. I picked him several times previously to win fights, in big fights, namely the AJ fight. But this isn't AJ that he's in against. He's in against a young, hungry champion who's still yet to discover himself and prove himself as a legitimate world champion.
His route into this level, this sort of world championship level of boxing, isn't it? Because he's come from a different route, isn't he? He's come from white collar, which is pretty intriguing, because the traditional route is, through amateur boxing into the pro game and getting fights under your belt. So, it doesn't seem to have held him back, does it?
He's very unique. His story is very, very unique. It is a sort of typical sort of Rocky's kind of story. You know, like I say, he's gone from white collar to being a legitimate world champion. So that in itself is a story. But like I say, I think when you win a world championship belt, when you got that belt put around your waist and you actually called a world champion, psychologically you improve. And if Fabio Baldi has improved, like most champions do, then he's a very, very dangerous champion.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So you're going for Wardley.
I'm going for Wardley.
So what? Stoppage? Knock it? You think it's something explosive? Not going all the way?
This fight definitely will not go 12 rounds.
Okay.
I'll be lucky if it goes 6.
Wow.
Interesting.
Okay,
well, we can
good.
continue
Sounds
building
explosive.
up to this. I wanted to talk to you about Inoue as well, a man who sort of fought at super bantamweight, one of your old title-winning weights. The Japanese fighter had another win this weekend. I mean, a feeling in many people's eyes is pound for pound the best fighter in the world. Have you seen much of him, Duke?
Yeah, I've watched Inoue from pretty much the day dot. Obviously, he's a multi-weight world champion like myself, and I'm glad that my career's over and I'm not still fighting today, or so I might not have been a multi-weight world champion. He's an exception to the rule. Against his fight against Nakatani at the weekend, I think the first 6 rounds or so, he actually struggled in a way because he couldn't deal with a height discrepancy. There was quite a height difference. There was a range difference. And these are the things you have to sort of negate when you're in there. You know, there isn't a script. You know, you can't read it beforehand. You got to do it on the job. And what he did in that fight was quite intelligent because he allowed Nakatani to get comfortable in the fight and get a little foothold in the fight. But from probably about once the cut appeared on Inoue, then he kind of went to what they call a champion's mindset. He pulled out all the stops. He did exactly what he needed to do to win the fight. It wasn't the best fight I've ever seen in my world, but it was an entertaining fight. It was a gripping fight to watch because you had 2 unbeaten world champions going in a unified world title fight, and that's what made it so special for me.
He's kind of off the radar of maybe the casual fight fan over here who just watches the big fights because, I think he fought in Scotland once. I was taking a look. He's not fought in this country before. So, I mean, I suppose, you know, that the fights are in the States. He fights a lot in Japan as well.
Yeah, all of his fights are going to be pretty much on home soil, which is a shame because he could do with that global exposure. However, for your hardened boxing fan who knows what boxing's all about, they know who he is. It would do him the world of good to broaden his horizon and, you know, and to fight abroad. Wouldn't it be great to see him over here fighting?
Yeah.
You know, because fighters like this don't come along every day of the week. He's an exceptional fighter because he has the ability to adapt so easily to any given style.
Just a quick one. There's a story today suggesting that that Alexander Usyk is going to help Anthony Joshua in his build-up to the Tyson Fury fight.
A good story.
Be great if he was in his corner. Wouldn't it? Quite know what's going on there, but yeah, I mean we're a ways off yet, and you know, things can go wrong. I think as Eddie Hearn was saying, and Frank Warren was saying, that you never know what's going to happen in these fights that build up to it. You hope everyone's going to be okay. But are you looking forward to that one, Duke?
I'm looking forward to any fight, to be honest with you. I like the look of Fury and AJ. We know that these guys are past their sell-by date. They're not the fighters that they once were, but in some ways that makes it even more attractive. Because, you know, if we're looking at these guys in their prime, you know, for me it's a 50-50 fight. But now they're not in their prime, and the last thing a boxer loses is his power. Tyson Fury's not the same fighter that he once was, which again makes him kind of a little bit more attractive because he has to adapt his style now to what's put in front of him. Anthony Joshua has a right hand, probably the best right hand in world boxing because he's a heavyweight and he's always knocked guys out with that shot. It's like a pet shot for him. So what Fury's going to have to do is to stay out of the way of that. Can he do that for 12 rounds? I don't think so. But equally, can Joshua maintain the pace for 12 rounds? I don't think so. So you're not looking at a 12-round fight for these guys. It's a 6-round fight. And by that, I don't mean they're only going to do 6 rounds. They're only going to be able to fight for 6 rounds out of the 12. And what happens in between happens in between. But it's still a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. There is a story, whatever, you know, whenever they meet, and we all accept it's 7-8 years too late, but there is still an intriguing story there. Now, I've just been alerted to the fact that today's a big day for you, Duke, isn't it? Happy birthday.
Oh, I thought you said I was going to get married or something. I'm already married. Yeah, no, thanks, champ. I appreciate it. It is my birthday, 63.
You're wearing well.
I'm doing all right, aren't I? Yeah, do you know what? But I keep myself in shape. Had a lovely little run yesterday. I do a little gym session once or twice a week with some of the kids in the gym, have a little jump around. And it's a lot of fun. And I'm going to meet my wife after this, and we're going to go shopping, and she's going to spend money on me on my credit card.
Yeah, you had lots of fights. It's great. I mean, we you pop in and see us on a pretty regular basis, but you kind of must feel that you're blessed to come out of such a dangerous sport relatively unscathed. You probably get a few aches and pains and stuff, but apart from that,
I'm doing okay. I've got nothing major. I don't think I've got anything major wrong with me, and I'm one of the lucky ones. But I think healthy body, healthy mind. You have to look after your body, and if you do that, then it will look after your mind.
Well, enjoy the rest of your birthday, Duke. Thanks for popping in to see us.
Thanks very much, champ. Thanks very much.
The latest episode of Talk Boxing with Simon Jordan, Spencer Oliver, Paul Smith and Duke will be available tonight, 8 p.m. on the Talk Sport Boxing YouTube channel. You can listen to live commentary of Dubois versus Fabio Wardley on Saturday night, right here on Talk Sport, or watch on DAZN. Still to come, hopefully Lutz Fan is still going to join us from up in Aberdeen. We've been struggling with the line, and lots more besides all to come. We're going to be chatting about John Conte. I should tell Duke, there's a new play about John Conte, Duke.
Do you know what?
Up in Liverpool, and we're going to be chatting to the guy who's written it and plays John. So.
I love John Conte. He's such a lovely man.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've met him before.
Yeah, we have. Yeah,
John is a real beautiful human being.
Yeah.
I've known John since the early 70s. He actually came to my house in about 1970, 77, 78 years, when my brother Clinton first turned professional.
Yeah.
And John came to my house with his then coach, George Francis, the late George Francis, and sat down and spoke to my dad, and, did a bit of coaxing.
Yeah.
Even did a bit of shadow boxing in my front room when I was a child.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't have been more than about 11 years of age.
It's John's boxing story and his life after boxing, which was troubled at times, wasn't it?
Sure.
So it's a warts and all account, and we'll be chatting to the man behind it, Aaron Julius, a little bit later on. But sorry, Duke, good to see you again. Happy birthday.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Thank you.
It's Hawksby and Jacobs here on Talk Sport.
Now that we're just about safe, I hope that we throw that game against West Ham and Callum Wilson comes and scores just about and just absolutely hammers you guys, because it would be the greatest thing in Premier League history.
That's such a small club mentality,
really
though,
would.
mate.
The arrogance of you and your club is absolutely...
What are you on about? What are you on about? I've had one phone call from Mark, who's a Tottenham fan, and now we're arrogant. What do you mean?
You are an arrogant club. You are an arrogant club.
I agree with him. I agree with him.
I mean, you're probably the biggest club in the Premier League to do nothing.
And we won the Europa League last season.
Oh, come on, Jamie.
What do you mean, come on? You say we won nothing. What do you mean? We won the Europa League. That's a major trophy.
You've done nothing.
You ain't done nothing for 50 years, pal. You've done nothing.
Oh, yeah, I know. Listen, I know how bad we are. Don't get me wrong.
Okay, so you're talking about throwing a game. Sums you lot up. That sums you lot up. You want to throw the game against West Ham after the season that you've had?
Listen. Yeah, mate. Yeah, listen. Last 16 Champions League tie against Barcelona. We've been shocking this season, Jamie.
Yeah.
I can admit it. You guys can't. You've had a caller on. Come on there, giving it the big lad, saying that yous are safe. Yous are safe. Yous are still 2 points behind West Ham. Got to go to Aston Villa tomorrow.
Yeah.
And yous have got a pretty tough fixture list remaining. With a bit of luck, Chelsea, Cundy's mob, will relegate yous.
Maybe. But I mean, Newcastle...
With a bit of luck, and I think the whole country wants it to happen as well.
Well, that just sums you lot up, doesn't it? I mean, you're up in Newcastle. I mean, why would you care about what Tottenham do?
Ally McCoy calls Everton's 3-3 draw with Man City proof the Premier League is the best in the world.
Tell you what I'm not having. Yeah. Those City fans leaving at 3-1. What was that all about?
I know.
What was that all about?
And then hurtling back in at 3-2. I mean, they've had so many great years. Come on. You can't believe it.
Man.
Pep Guardiola admits the title is now firmly in Arsenal's hands. Meanwhile, we understand despite his bit part role this season, Phil Foden's agreed terms on extending his contract at Man City. Morgan Gibbs-White's been told he won't need to head the ball if he's fit to play for Forest on Thursday. Here's Vitor Pereira.
Very important play for us. I said to him, you don't need to use the head to heading the balls, just to play.
Gibbs-White's looking like Frankenstein's monster after a collision with Chelsea's Robert Sanchez. Villa versus Forest in the Europa League semi-final second leg is live on TalkSport on Thursday night. Now, would Hearts winning the Scottish Premiership be bigger than Leicester? Hearts' all-time top goal scorer, John Robertson, says it would.
Got two absolute juggernauts of the game up here. Since Graham Souness came in under Ali's time, he changed the landscape of Scottish football. Nobody's been able to get anywhere near Rangers or Celtic.
After beating Rangers, Hearts could be 6 points clear of Celtic before Sunday's Old Firm. There's more, as ever, at talksport.com.
It's Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs here on Talk Sport. Now, if you were listening a few weeks back, you'll know we spoke to our next guest alongside Tin Tim Ho, who's one of the top women's table tennis players in this country, because they were both taking part in the World Team Table Tennis Championships that we've been showing you on the Talk Sport YouTube channel. It was the centenary edition. It was back in England since 1926 was the first time the tournament ever happened. Unfortunately, since in the women's team aren't in the competition anymore, but the men are still very much alive in it. They played a round of 32 match against Moldova yesterday, and they got a round of 16 game tomorrow against either Singapore or Brazil. And Tom Jarvis is back, who joined us ahead of the tournament. Hello, Tom.
Hi, how you doing again?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. So we say that Tintin and the girls are no more. What happened to them? Who did they go out to?
They went out to Ukraine yesterday.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay, they went fairly deep in the tournament then. They didn't do too bad.
Yeah, it was the last 32.
Right, okay. So Singapore or Brazil? Do you have a preference? I mean, we don't want to give them any advantage, but who is traditionally the better team?
Dressing room.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brazil have got one guy who's really good. He won the World Cup last year and made the finals of World Championships. But yeah, Singapore are also a great team. But yeah, we're in the last 16 anyway, so there's not really any easy matches. Yeah, we'll take whoever we get, and hopefully the same result as yesterday.
Have you played, I was going to say, have you played either of these two before, personally, these teams?
Not. Yeah, I think we've played them quite a lot in the past, but teams change quite a lot over the years. So I don't think like the exact same teams has faced off. Sure. We actually beat Brazil in the quarterfinals of World Cup last time we played a team event in England. So there's not that nice memory there. But yeah, both matches will be really tough.
Okay, what is the format? I mean, you saying there's 2 games in a round, or how does it work?
So you play like it's a best of 5, and every match best of 5, and it's first to 3. So both teams field out 3 men, and the person who plays at 3 in the middle will only play 1 match. then the other 2 kind of rotate.
So what's the atmosphere been like? You've been playing at the Copper Box Arena in London and the OVO Arena at Wembley. What's it been like? What the crowd's been like?
It was the weekend was absolutely rammed. We were playing the same time as China, and they brought their fans in the thousands. That day was it was really amazing. Last night we had a lot of English in too, so it was really good to get the win in front of them as well.
And what time are you playing tomorrow?
It's not 100% yet. I think most likely we'll play the evening session, which will be starting at 5 or 7:30.
Okay, nice one, Tom. All the best. Good luck.
Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.
Tom Jarvis there, part of the fine England team taking part in the World Table Tennis Championships. And you can watch it all unfold until the final on Sunday, the 10th of May, on the TalkSport YouTube channel. Just to let you know about breakfast tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Is Alan back?
Tomorrow morning, who's on the show? Let's have a look. Who was it? It just says 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. Huge guest lineup. Let me tell you who's on. The 2001 Ballon d'Or winner and the man who collected 8 major trophies across his club career, the former England striker Michael Owen. Also to react to a big night in the Champions League and the title race with City, Emmanuel Adebayor will be on the show. So Michael Owen, Emmanuel Adebayor on breakfast tomorrow from 6 a.m. So we're delighted to say Felix White of Maccabees fame, a big cricket fan, big Fulham fan, big football fan, wrote a book a while back which has been shortlisted for a fine book award. He's going to come and have a chat about that. His love of the FA Cup, a bit of Fulham this season, some cricket I'm sure, but Felix White with us in the studio in a few moments' time. You're listening to Hawksby and Jacobs on TalkSport in partnership with Toolstation. Get your toolbox essentials this spring with big savings on screws and fixings. Next stop, Toolstation.
And what about Victor Gyökeres? Do we need to give him a handshake and say, well done? The last Arsenal player to score 20-plus goals in their debut season was Alexis Sanchez, 2014-15. Only Erling Haaland and Igor Thiago have scored more goals than Gyökeres this season.
Yeah, I guess if you're still being ultra critical, you would
ultra critical.
Is that a word? Hypercritical. You would say ultra critical. There you go. You would say that he still gets his goals against the Leicester Lights in the Premier League. Can you bank on him to score in the big games? Could you bank on him against Atletico in midweek? Probably not. So, yeah, I think 20 goals comes with a little bit of a caveat just in terms of the class of opponent he tends to score against.
It does, but I think you also have to remember 20 goals is still 20 goals in the Premier League. If you're scoring 20 goals in the Premier League, you're doing a good job. Even though they've come against Leeds, Nottingham Forest, Burnley, Everton, Leeds, Sunderland, Tottenham, Everton, Bournemouth, and Fulham. Does that dim the achievement then?
So Bournemouth and Fulham, the only top half teams that he scored against, is that right? Yeah, I think it does dim the achievement because they didn't pay the money for Victor Gyökeres to score against Leeds, with the greatest respect in the world.
Well, interesting. I think he's done a pretty good job, to be honest with you. West Ham away.
Him or Šeško, because obviously that was the balancing act between a lot of clubs in the summer.
I told you that from the beginning, Šeško. Yeah. All day. Leaner, faster, quicker, sharper in front of goal. Got something. I think Gyökeres is a good player, but Šeško's a lot younger. There's a higher ceiling for him to develop into. I think you're buying...
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
That is Pelican by the Maccabees, and we are joined in the studio now by their guitarist, songwriter, a friend of the show, Felix White. Good to see you, Felix.
Oh, I am a friend of the show. I've
You
been
are?
on the show for more than 10 years.
Oh, easily. Yeah. I can't, what was
You're
the
a
first
double
thing?
threat as well with cricket and
I know you
Yeah.
ferried me through from my indie band days to all the sport stuff I've done, because you were really in the early days you were like, oh, the guy from the Maccabees is into cricket or something.
Yeah.
So before I was really working in cricket with Jimmy and stuff, I was talking to you guys about it.
And it's interesting. I mean, it probably would have been when you had some new material out, or you were doing some gigs that you probably came in.
Yeah, I think I would have been, and because you would always be like, you guys are probably looking for musicians that like know a little bit about sport sometimes or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then I was like free flowing in my element.
Yeah. don't break down the form.
Well, you found one.
Yeah, we did. And baseball. So we saw you at the baseball once, didn't we? You did a bit of
baseball.
that. Yeah.
Mets are on a losing streak at the moment. New York Mets of like 14 games or something, and they're like the Man City of baseball. They've had that much money spent on them, but they just can't.
We're
win.
more like Chelsea, don't we?
Yeah.
It's pretty much.
So were
like
you
that.
into baseball always, or is that something you kind of?
Baseball. The thing that happened with baseball was I really love cricket, but the Maccabees went on tour. For some reason, I decided to do that tour sober, which is beyond me why I decided to do that tour sober.
Right.
But I think it was because it's quite hard.
You're probably drunk when you made a decision.
That's where it starts.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But I was in all bars in America not drinking, and I realised baseball's on everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's very similar to cricket, but it's got all the things that culturally cricket wishes it had, in that like everyone wears the clothes, it looks really cool, it's really fed into like mainstream culture a little bit. So I started to get really invested in it, and then when I realised the battle between the pitcher and the hitter, game of chess, game of deception, one-on-one, I was like, oh, I'm so locked in now.
Yeah.
Once you get
It's
that
like a
little
bowler
element
and a
of it-
batter, though, because you are setting the batsman up all the time when you're bowling. And
Exactly
that's
right.
the thing.
It's exactly the same thing. And it's the same when people say cricket or baseball is boring. You're not reading the intricate battle that's happening.
No.
Yeah,
They've brought in effectively DRS this season
Yeah,
as well
yeah, review
at the
system.
top level. So you've got that review
So
system.
funny, the poor umpires, they're getting absolutely caned, but they're missing like 20 calls a game.
I know.
But it's not their fault. We've talked about this before. That is, I think the flaw of baseball is that it isn't stumps. You know, it's this imaginary area, which is, that's hard for somebody, to judge at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, so for people that don't know that, there's just, like you say, there's an imaginary box where a strike is, and some umpires have big, like slightly bigger box ideas of what the frame is than others. But I really love that. Like, oh, we've got a specific umpire and they call strikes when it's in this thing, and that kind of street knowledge. But it's going from all sport at the moment, and to the detriment of most of it.
Can you imagine if cricket umpires had to stand there were no stumps, and the batsman missed it, and they go, yeah, that's out.
Well, imagine a football referee. When we used to play and we'd put coats down as goalposts, we used to do that all the time. We'd be saying that wouldn't have gone over the bar. That was in the top.
What about
corner.
posting in? Posting in.
Anyway, congratulations. Your book that you came to have a chat with us about, your kind of odyssey around the FA Cup has been shortlisted for the Football Book of the Year. You're in the company of Gareth Southgate and Guillem Balaguer, Spanish football expert, and his Villa book. We chatted about that last week. And the best audio book of the year. That's very nice. You're up against Martin O'Neill, Mary Earps, Joe Cole, Ned Boulting and Susie Wharf.
Sometimes I wonder, is that why I've done it, just to hear my name alongside those people? You know what I mean? But it's really cool that that's happened. I mean, it was a weird left field trip going to every round of the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Extra preliminary, hard to say, to the final. And in lots of ways, I felt like, there's a lot of stories inside that book about things beyond football, but essentially I was looking for the magic of the FA Cup, and I couldn't have done it at a better year, because obviously Palace winning that tournament, if I'd done it this year, no offence, but Chelsea City... Would I have the same
not
feelings?
necessarily
It's a romantic underdog with no chance.
I suppose it is. It's a bit Hereford, isn't it? Chelsea versus...
Does it matter to Chelsea, the final this year? It probably does a little bit more.
It matters so much.
Right.
It's a chance for them to save their season, to have European... Otherwise, it's a complete and utter write-off.
Yeah.
And a massive step back.
And you do wonder what City's mindset will be, depending on what happens now in the league by the time... When is that final?
We can beat these by just turning up, is what their mindset will be.
Not necessarily. I mean, we'll see.
We'll see.
We will see.
Whatever will be, was the book, A Matter of Life and Football. And yeah, you said it was like it was your decision, but as you said, it is more than just a round by round review of
how
the
you
FA
came
Cup.
to love football and all that.
Yeah, there's a lot of that in the beginning, and how sort of football it gets into sort of accidentally at one point how football especially, it sort of communicates a relationship between yourself as a child and yourself as an adult, and between a child and adult externally. So my nephew, I really got into Fulham. I witnessed him in real life having his first ever heartbreak when Palace beat us 3-0, and see his heart. We all remember that one at 8 years old when your heart was crushed into a million pieces, and you're like to your dad or whatever, like, can you not change that for me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That lives with you forever, doesn't it? That kind of thing.
It's true.
So kind of all of those little communications, but I got really lucky with MK Dons versus AFC was one of the games on the third round. So that's a huge story about displacement, as you all know. Last FA Cup game at Goodison Park, Palace winning it, obviously. The chairman of Penrith, Billy Williams, giving me a ride to a festival because I was late for stage and couldn't get a cab out of Penrith. So there's loads of stories about England, really, and travelling around England.
Oh, wow. Is that the paperback's out on Thursday, is
Correct,
that right?
yes, Thursday. Yeah.
And when are the awards? When do you know if you've won the
I think
Gong?
it's the 21st, the awards are.
Okay.
Do you think Southgate will be there?
Who knows? Yeah, I imagine
if he's won.
He's a
Yeah,
good...
exactly.
Have
If
you
he's
met
there,
him?
I'm in trouble. If he's there, I'm leaving.
Have you met him before?
Have I met Southgate? No.
He's a good lad.
Yeah, he's very nice man.
I'm definitely be up for a chat. He's
I'd
a nice
love
man.
to meet Gareth Southgate.
No, very good.
Yeah.
So you mentioned this, it's a podcast, isn't it, with Jimmy Anderson? Right.
Tail Ender's been going 9 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
Greg James.
we were talking to Keaton Jennings earlier in the show.
Oh, right.
I personally think he should play for England. I mean, there's nobody bowling better in the country than him.
Do you know what? I mean, it's really played badly from a selective perspective what's happened in the first few weeks of the county season, because it matters what's going on in county cricket. It's a bit of an old school start to a county season in which places are up for grabs. And Jimmy, well, as of last week, he might still be the highest wicket taker in the county championship, which is absolutely incredible at 43 years of age. And I don't think you could argue the fact that if you were non-emotionally, non-politically picking three seamers that would do your job in England this summer, you would absolutely pick Jimmy Anderson.
You would. His skills are undiminished, and it's not about pace.
Do you think if they called him, he would answer the call?
He would do it without thinking.
Despite everything that's gone on, we know he wasn't happy with everything the way it was done.
I think he'd do it as well.
I think his whole identity was being the guy running in, swinging it, bowling for England. And I think he would, and I think the way it happened, he felt, and it's proving to be right now, that he had a few more seasons in him. So that was why he wasn't going to budge. And I think he would do it in a heartbeat.
Interesting.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It does seem unlikely.
It does feel a bit unlikely. And we got there are interesting seamers around. Sonny Baker can bowl really quick. I think Sam Cook could have another go. But the only shooting really is Josh Tongue and Jofra Archer. So there are a lot of places.
Ollie Robinson.
Ollie Robinson, he's captaining at Sussex. But he scored 140 this week, so he's batting well as well.
Yeah, he's a good cricketer. Right.
Do you play, Felix? You play?
I know. Do you know what? I was just scared of a cricket ball.
I suppose also it's that thing of you can't.
There's a hard and it hurts, man. So when you get to like 15, and if you got enough intelligence to get out of the way of the thing, you do.
But if they booked a tour with a band or studio time and you break a couple of fingers playing cricket.
Oh, my God.
See, so that's.
Do you know what? Thank you for bringing that up, because I've just been doing a show about the guitar, and you know Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath?
Yeah,
had a guillotine press accident
Famous.
with his middle fingers.
Yeah.
And it meant that he invented the sort of power chord that metal did, because he couldn't use his two middle fingers. And the same for Django Reinhardt. I'm not suggesting that if I had been affected by a cricket ball, I would have invented
If you'd broken a couple of fingers playing cricket, you could have been Django Reinhardt.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that catch. He dropped Django. That's when he broke his fingers. Yeah.
Iommi caught Reinhardt. Yeah. Like a game of How's That when we used to play the old dice game. Bowled the Queen Mum. Yeah, you used to have all that, didn't you?
Yeah.
And so Fulham. It's
good season, but
just you said this month is generally not great for Fulham.
Look, we just have this weird thing of just getting safe and getting towards Europe in May. I think this is the third season running, and it just not coming together. Really interesting thing about this year is if you look at it, again, non-emotionally, we're about 4 or 5 points away from our highest ever points tally, could still finish 6th, 7th. Even the great Roy team finished 7th. That's the highest Fulham have ever finished, like even going back 70s or whatever. So it could still be an amazingly successful season. But like, I know it's Arsenal, and I know, they're one of the best teams in Europe, of course. But it was frustrating this weekend because it just felt like we phoned that in. And I know it was flu.
The illness in the camp didn't help.
But even just watching, it was just one of those where, this is the thing with Fulham, right? We haven't solved. Marco's done an unbelievable job. There'd only be 2 other Fulham managers in history that I'd put him alongside, Roy Hodgson and Jean Tigana. But he hasn't solved his issue with when the big games that really matter. So I'm talking about that quarter-final against Palace, or League Cup semi-finals against Liverpool, or various league games. We never get the points. We either freeze or don't show up in those games. International breaks seem like they're happening quite regularly. We never get points after international breaks, and that's happened for quite a long period of time. So we have these few things, but they're just not getting solved. And so you've got a younger element of the Fulham fan base that are thinking we should be pushing on. Of course, people like me and older are thinking, well, this is probably the most successful Fulham team you will ever see. So careful what you wish for.
It'll be interesting to see what he does, because he's linked with the Chelsea job. The Chelsea fans don't want him. I can tell you that for sure.
He'd be a fantastic Chelsea
but,
because of the Fulham connection.
Not just the Fulham connection. The things that Felix talks about, the big games. He doesn't beat the big teams, and that's no good.
I think he would. I think he would at Big Club Marco. I think he's very passionate. He really cares. Look, I'm not going to put an advert out there for Marco. I want to leave Fulham. I desperately wanted to say, but I think he's done a very undervalued job.
No, he's done a great job.
Compared to Brentford, Bournemouth, who have clearly had infrastructure where managers have come in, gone out, and they've kept going. I think we're much more in the image of Marco, actually,
Finally, Maccabees wise, you've got a bunch of shows this summer, haven't you?
We do.
Big shows.
Are you coming, Paul?
I'd love to. You're playing Ali Pali, aren't you?
Yeah, we're doing Ali Pali outside, which will be great. We're doing about 5 or 6 outdoor shows, Truck Festival. But the nice thing is that we collected bills where bands that were breaking at the time we did and have carried on to do stuff on those bills. So Cribs are supporting White Lies, Primal Scream on before us at Truck Festival, all these kind of things. Excellent. So we got a nice little sort of all old mates and stuff.
And are you writing stuff at the moment?
Well, we might be, we might not be.
Ah, okay, fair enough. We'll make of that what you will.
I'll come and speak to you later.
Good luck at the Charles Tyrwhitt Sportsbook Awards.
Oh yeah,
thank you so much. Yeah. I'll say hello to Gareth Southgate.
Dude, Gareth, he's listened over the years. He tells us he used to like clips of the week, so hopefully he still does. But have a good night. Hope you win.
Thanks so much. Good to see you.
Lovely to see you. Thanks, Felix. There's Felix right there. And look out for the Maccabees shows this summer as well. Terry Gibson's going to join us later. We'll get an Atletico take on tonight's game against Arsenal. Aaron Julius, as we were saying to Duke McKenzie earlier on, has written and stars as John Conte in the play Conte, which is up in Liverpool at the moment. And we will be chatting to Hayley McCauley, who has retained her title as the flat pack furniture assembling world champion. That's the hard-hitting sports agenda on this show. That's coming up in a moment.
some news coming in for you. Kosti, TalkSport understands Unai Emery is high on Real Madrid's shortlist to become their new manager. He's under contract at Villa Park since the summer of 2029. Sources in Spain believe he could be tempted by a new challenge due to Villa's financial restrictions. You know what? I was just looking back through the internet on this, and he was linked with the Real Madrid job in March, and he was linked with it again in April. So it's no surprise, really, he's been linked with it again in May. I mean, look, it wouldn't be the biggest shock in the world, would it?
No, not at all. I mean, I'll be honest with you, don't want him to go. Love him, like everything about him. Like, I think the Villa fans would be sorely, they'd be bordering on devastation at Villa Park if they lost him. But you know, Sam, there's the naughty part of me would love to see him handle Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. and those boys. Do you know what I mean? I think that would be really, really interesting. And there's no surprise because he is top class. Listen, he was disappointed with the level of performance his team put in yesterday. But why would he not come into their thinking to be their next manager? Because he certainly has proven it at just about every level. Arsenal aside, he has been absolutely fantastic. But Jeff, I want him to stay.
I mean, I just wonder whether that experience at Arsenal will make him feel, rightly or wrongly, that he's...
We'll also be reflecting on Snooker Championship, some of the highs and lows of the last couple of weeks from Rob Moore, who was there throughout. But first, Max Scott has the sports headlines.
TalkSport Sports Update, powered by the Nissan Van range, helping business owners to work better and live better. Search Nissan Vans or head to your local Nissan Van centre.
Thank you, Paul. Good afternoon. Manchester City's complacency has handed Arsenal pole position for the title. That's according to our very own Simon Jordan.
To me, it was watching Manchester City almost assume that the game was won. Now, they've handed the initiative back to Arsenal. I've always felt that Arsenal would win the league. I felt that they've let Man City through the door, and now Man City have let them back in.
After that 3-3 draw with Everton, Pep Guardiola admits it's all in Arsenal's hands. Broadcaster and Arsenal fan Harry Symeou told us this gives Gunners the clarity they need in the final run-in.
It feels like this was a big momentum shift, and given that just a few weeks ago it felt like it swung the other way up at the Etihad, to have it swing back our way with 3 games to go this late in the season is a real good feeling. But now we've got to go and seize the moment.
TalkSport's bringing you live updates from the Emirates as they welcome Atletico Madrid in that huge Champions League semi-final second leg. This Thursday, we're bringing in live commentary from Villa Park for that Europa League semi-final between Villa and Forest. After suffering that nasty gash against Chelsea, will Morgan Gibbs-White be available? Well, as it stands, we're told he's not been ruled out and he's showing no signs of concussion. Now, the SPL's coming to a climactic conclusion, and despite being in the thick of the action, Celtic boss Martin O'Neill's told us the resurgence of Hearts is good for Scottish football.
If you're looking at it from a neutral viewpoint, which I certainly am not, but if you were, then there's been excitement this season because Hearts have come up, thrown down the gauntlet to the 2 big teams, and I think that can only be good for the SPL.
Celtic are 3 points behind Hearts with 3 games to go, heading into a huge Old Firm derby this weekend. And the Rugby Football Union has backed head coach Steve Borthwick to continue leading England into next year's World Cup. After a review into a disappointing Six Nations campaign, the RFU says Borthwick has clear plans to address the findings.
TalkSport News.
The government's putting plans in place for the onward travel of Brits stuck aboard a cruise ship hit by a suspected hantavirus outbreak. Meanwhile, is Downing Street doing enough to tackle anti-Semitism? Amelia's got more at 5:30.
TalkSport weather with QuickFit. Our expert technicians can't do your spring cleaning, but they can keep your car's inbuilt safety tech in top nick. Visit quickfit.com and book today.
Dry for most places today with some cloudy and sunny spells. Showery outbreaks of rain in places, mainly in the north.
Good afternoon, it's Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs here on TalkSport. Yes, we will talk snooker in the next hour. We have a new winner of the World Snooker Championship. We'll be chatting about him and his pretty remarkable backstory and some of the highs and lows of the last couple of weeks at the Crucible with Rob Moore. Terry Gibson joins us to look at how Atletico may approach tonight's game at the Emirates, that second leg, delicately poised at 1-1. And Aaron Julius is a writer and actor who has put together a play about the great John Conte. And we'll be chatting to Aaron a little bit later on about that. But as promised, for a first on this show, and we have done some weird and wonderful things over the years, we're arguing this is sport. And here we are on TalkSport talking about competitive flat-pack furniture assembly. You get a bit of a sweat on doing it. It's a bit technical. All the prerequisites are there for sport, I would say. Precision, effort.
Oh, yeah, stamina. But it's a difficult thing. A lot of people find it incredibly difficult, even following the instructions.
Yeah.
But,
But our next guest, not only is she the fastest in the business and retained her title, she has a business that puts it together for you, Andy. So if you're ever in trouble, you can call Hayley, and her or her team will come round and put it together to stop a domestic.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Hayley Macaulay from Wigan joins us now. Hi, Hayley.
Hi.
Lots of people do need a bit of help, don't they, really? Because I imagine it is the cause of quite a few domestics. Our system is, my missus is in charge of the instructions and I do the grunt work. And we find we find that generally works for us. But
my method is to get somebody else to do it.
I'd like to think you and your company have saved a few marriages.
Definitely. Me and my partner, we can't build together.
Really?
We could end up arguing.
That's amazing. How did you learn to be so good at this? Was it just practice, or do you have a sort of knack for it?
To be honest, I'm not 100% like I have been building since I was small, but it was only in 23 when I built something and I put it on my socials, and I did get a bit of interest about setting up a new business. So I went with it. I made my own business page, got my posters and stuff, and it just took off from there. But yeah, I do. I think I have helped quite a few people. Definitely saved some marriages.
So this tournament took place down in London, and you were.
What did you have to assemble?
Yeah, I mean, how many bits do you have to assemble, and how long do you have to do it?
Well, it was at the Grand Designs Lab, and there was 2 rounds in the semi-final. It was two rounds with 4 people in each round. We built a Billy bookcase for that first round, and then in the final, it was a 2-drawer side unit. Right. So yeah, it took. I think I'm not 100% on the timings for the Billy bookcase. Probably about 7 minutes. But for the 2-drawer side unit, it was 8-minute 20, which I beat the record from last year.
Is this? I take it. Is it all IKEA stuff then? Is that what they're asking you to build? And you've probably done that accessory, a Billy bookcase. How many have you done over the years in your line of work? Quite a few.
To be honest, I've not done that many.
Oh, okay.
No, I do get asked have I been practicing for the competition. Now, the 2-drawer side unit, I've built one since last year.
Oh, right.
Since I won it last year. So, but to me, flat packs, it's all the same, just different items.
Yeah.
They could combine it with an eating contest with their famous meatballs.
They could.
Tremendous.
Meatballs. Yeah, that's not...
You have to demolish a plate of meatballs and then,
Oh, that's going to repeat a bit. all that bending down to do the flat pack. So did you kind of win at a Kante? How close was the person that came second, Hayley?
To be honest, I think there was only me what finished. Everyone else, they still had bits to do.
Really? Wow.
When I finished, I managed to pack all my tools away as well.
That's fantastic. And we love
went on to the next job.
We love the fact that you got the gold Allen key. Have you got it with you, or is it at home?
I'm actually at my other job at the minute. I'm on my break now on my other job.
Right.
So
it must be great though when someone comes and does your flat pack, but they're the holder of the gold Allen key. I mean, also, don't they expect you to do it quickly? You might quote them for a price. That's how it only took you 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you work a bit slower normally, do you? You don't work at that pace?
Well, no, I give them a price for the item.
Yeah.
And then if I get it done quicker, I get it done quicker. But I did go to a lady's house a couple of weeks ago, and I was building a TV cabinet for her. And she said to her daughter, "Hey, we've got World Flat Pack Champion building our TV unit."
Fantastic.
Yes, you can put the prices up.
Yeah,
That's the way to do it. And well, I suppose the other thing we all find, there's always that extra couple of dowels or that extra screw. I think the people in the factory that put them together, if they're a bit bored, they think, let's chuck it. That'll really mess with their heads. Do you find that still? I mean, how often are you putting this stuff together and find that there's bits missing or too many bits?
It's not very often that there's bits missing. You can get certain places where they can deliver stuff and some bits are broken, but you can also, like most places, they send an extra dowel, or some places send one of extra piece. So you've just got to be aware of that, and so you're not scratching your head thinking, have I missed something out?
It drives you nuts. Even an extra dowel drives you nuts, doesn't it? And then I remember saying, they've probably put one in, and the missus is saying to me, no, you've messed up somewhere. Oh, yeah, of course, it's my fault.
Of course.
But, yeah. So, is there, you'll be back to defend the title next year? Is that the plan?
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait, really. Hopefully, it'll be 3 years in a row.
Yeah, what about that? And then you get to keep the gold Allen key anyway. You haven't got to give it back after.
You'd think there'd be somebody from Sweden, wouldn't you? That'd be like good at this as well.
What? Because of IKEA?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Was there any overseas competitors, Hayley, or not in the tournament?
No, there wasn't. To be honest, I actually expected, because it blew up from last year, I expected like a couple of overseas, but no, not at all.
Okay. Well, look, you're the world champion. Let's give you a free ad. Where can people find your company then?
If you can find me on Facebook, it's Hayley's Flat Pack Assembly Service.
Okay.
Yeah, just click on there, or even type in on Google. You'll see me there, and it'll take you to my page as well.
To have it's just like having Kylian Mbappe come round and put your flat pack. You've got a world champion doing it.
It's brilliant.
Nice one. Cheers, Hayley. Congratulations. All the best.
Thank you very much for having me.
Take care.
Bye.
Hayley McCauley there, the world flatback furniture assembly champion.
Tremendous.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
to her, which hasn't stopped you getting a bit puntastic with Jack Hinstallwood, says Paul. Chris Sofar and Kunku. Sure about that. They're struggling now. Paul, Matt in Sussex. Paul Instructions. I quite like that.
That's quite good.
Fair play, Matt. That is not too bad.
Too bad.
Yeah. What else? Wojciech Szalongi. Not working. Not working, that one, Tim. He said, I'm back. Okay, I'm going to try and do better. Bench Chilwell. That's not bad.
Yeah, bench.
Yeah. Cafu table. You like that? Alessandro Nesta tables.
That's good.
Yeah. We've had all those. Nicholas Ottomandy. Yeah, you have come back bigger and stronger. I said to Tim, you can do better than that, and here he is.
Yeah, it's well done.
I think that may be it. Laminate floor Yamal. Yeah.
That's such a
pretty Tim. God bless you for coming back and having another go.
It's good.
It is Paul Hawksby and Aaron Jacobs here on Talk Sport, and Aaron Julius joins us, playwright and actor, playing the great John Conte. He was a guest on the show with us only a few weeks back. In a new play up in Liverpool. And Aaron will be telling us a bit more about that in a few moments' time. We're here with our good friends at Toolstation. You can check out their wide range of garden power tools with brands such as Bosch and Ryobi. Next up, Toolstation.
Pards. I am relieved. Do you know what's funny? Obviously, being on this incredible station that we're part of.
Yes.
I meet lots of people out there say, I love you and Pards on a Sunday. But the Spurs contingents, they look at me as like Imagine, are we going to stay up? When people ask me, are we going to stay up? It's like, I've got the answers. They think like, I'm telling you, and I've been saying it on Inside Spurs.
I have to say, when I go to games, that's the main question I get asked. Because is it going to be Spurs or West Ham?
On the Inside Spurs podcast, I've been the positive one. Abby, Sonny, I'm talking about you two.
Negative Nellies.
Negative Nellies, right? You
can't have it, mate. You can't have it in a relegation fight.
I said it on the podcast this week. Do you remember Euro 96, the night before England-Scotland? Uri Geller was on Fantasy Football going, if there's a penalty, we move the ball together.
Don't
touch the ball.
About Uri Geller.
No?
No, I've told you, I've got history with him. We got history at Reading, me and him. No, I'm not going to go there. I want to talk about Spurs. What a performance. What sometimes you bring in a manager and he earns his corn. I'm not being funny. Tudor, right? He wouldn't know what going to Villa would be about, really.
No.
You know, he's seen it on the TV, but he hasn't experienced it. Of course, De Zerbi's been there. He knows what's going to happen. He knows where they are. They've played a European game. He knows he's got to put a performance of experienced players right on it and give them not an inch.
And that's what
they done.
Yeah.
And then did it brilliantly. Played Gallagher in the 10. He closed everything down. And Richarlison, by the way, that was one of his best performances for Spurs in terms of work rate, commitment.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We're taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology.
How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Good afternoon, Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs here on Talk Sport. Still to come, we'll be looking ahead to Arsenal Atletico Madrid tonight. We spoke to Harry Symeou earlier on from an Arsenal perspective, and they'll be buoyed by City dropping points last night. But Terry Gibson will be able to kind of fill us in on what we can expect from Atletico, and there'll be regular updates from 7 o'clock in kickoff, where Adrian Durham is joined by Darren Bent and Kevin Hatchard as that game unfolds. But we were chatting to Duke McKenzie a little bit earlier on, fine boxer, of course. And he talked about a visit to his house as a young lad by John Conte, and he remembers it well. John Conte was the world light heavyweight champion, but he was kind of more than a boxer at that period. He was a sort of TV personality, wasn't he? He was on our TVs a lot, and infamously appeared on the cover of Wings Band on the Run as well. But it was a lifestyle that kind of caught up with him in the end, and he had his own demons to deal with. And all of that is told by our next guest in his play Conte at the Royal Court Theatre in Liverpool. And Aaron Julius joins us now. Hi, Aaron.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
good,
good.
thanks.
Oh, you've got, yeah, there you are. You've grown the trademark John Conte tash for the role, haven't you? Yeah.
The tash and the Scouse wit.
Yeah.
just reading the reviews here, you must be pleased with them because it sounds brilliant. This.
Yeah, I'm really proud of it. Actually, I set out when I was writing it. I set out to really challenge myself, and my body isn't thanking me for that right now. But but the reviews are, and the audience are, and I feel like I'm doing the city, the sport, and John and my family proud.
We can see you're a young man, so you don't remember John and his pomp. How did you find out about this story? How did you come to it?
So I was doing a play called Boys from the Black Stuff, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I'd love to play an iconic role like Yozza Hughes, and I thought to myself, who can I play realistically that looks like me? And I started researching people from Liverpool, and of course John Conte came to mind, and I thought to myself, oh, there's got to be a play or there's got to be a TV series out there that I can get my hands onto, and there wasn't. And instead of waiting for it to be created, I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to write it myself. And it started with me finding John's autobiography, and that kind of snowballed to me meeting John, speaking to John directly and getting his blessing and having him here every step of the way, and really creating a lovely relationship with him.
Was that important, Aaron, the getting his blessing?
Oh, massively. Yeah. I mean, the show could have been done without John, but it just wouldn't have been right on a personal and professional level to do it without John, without John's blessing, without him being involved even in the writing. And I mean, as an actor, for me, meeting John was really interesting. He's a huge personality, and he's got so many little quirks and little things that without John there, I just wouldn't have been able to do that justice.
It's an ensemble cast, not just a one-man show, but the review says that the bit that they like the best, and this does sound very interesting, when Conte gives a punch-by-punch account of his bouts, from the outside success against Chris Finnegan to the narrow 1980 defeat against Saad Mohammed in Atlantic City. So you would have had to do a lot of research for that, I'd imagine.
And I take it John kind of fed into that with some of those conversations as well, did he?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it used to be a one-man show, funnily enough. I mean, in John's head, it's always a one-man show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to be a one-man show. And when we expanded it into an ensemble piece, I wanted to keep the elements of the one-man show in it. And I think it works really well for the fights, because it's almost given like an internal punch by punch monologue of what is going on as the fights are going on, which from the reviews and from the audience seems to be something that hasn't been done before. And it's really exciting, because obviously, because I'm in it, I can't see it from the outside. So I'm in it, and I'm moving, and I'm going round one, he clips me and moving like that. And people seem to be really responding well to that as a creative medium.
It's not just the story of his boxing career. It's the story of some of the demons he had to deal with, alcoholism, etc. later in life. I remember seeing John in the West End once, in those years, and wanted to go up and say hello and tell him what a fan I was, but I could see in his eyes he wasn't in any state.
No,
I mean he'd been very upfront about it. He had real issues, but he overcame them, didn't he?
Yeah, as you say, he's extremely upfront about his issues. Sometimes too upfront, but like that is all in the play. It's a huge part of his story. It's a huge part of his life in and out the ring. I mean, when I met him, he said to me he give everything 100% all the time. In the ring, it was never give up, and out the ring, it was total give up. And even what you're saying there about seeing him outside the ring and he just wasn't there. I mean, It was just completely 100% whatever he was doing, even if it wasn't helping him.
Do you think it wasn't a case, and we see it a lot with boxers, that that we have a brilliant series after the lights go out here on Talk Sport, where the guys speak to former Leon McKenzie and Steve Armisen, speak to former sports people, talking about dealing with life after retirement and that sort of emptiness. And when you've been at the top of a sport and you've been that great physical specimen, and John didn't let himself go in that way completely, but you know what I mean?
No.
It's hard. Do you think he was a bit of a victim of that what's next syndrome?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, I'm boxing with a fantastic trainer called Benji Cam Coaching, who has really whipped me into shape. And the more I'm in and around like actual boxers, training out of Four Corners in Fazakerley, the more I'm learning that it really is a universal story, that it's a universal thing with athletes, not just fighters, but there's something about fighters where it's just you in that ring when the bell goes. And what happens when the fights are done and people can't make money from you anymore, or people don't want to know you anymore. I mean, fighters are used to walking down the street and how everyone's shaking their hand and everyone's saying, "Oh, champ." And then what happens when you're just a man or a woman walking down the street? And I think that, like, as you say, that does something to you mentally. And if you're already afflicted with some sort of mental health condition or addiction, then it's going to exacerbate that massively.
You're looking in good nick for this. I mean, do you normally look after yourself? Obviously, bulking up to look like the world light heavyweight champion in his pomp. You're looking in good shape there, and you did a fair bit of gym work, I'm guessing.
Thank you very much. As I say, that's all down to my trainer, Benji Cam Coaching. But you know what? I keep myself in good condition anyway. But I've had to strip down weight, which is I'm looking at my face on the screen now, and I'm going, "Oh God, I need something to eat."
Making weight, having to make weight,
having to make the weight for the show.
Yeah. So, I've got. I mean, my respect level for fighters has gone through the roof. With everything that I've had to do.
Yeah, and I take it John's happy with it, and now he's seen the finished product.
Yeah, he came to press night, and the first thing he said to me when I got up, well, actually, he got on stage at the end, and he looked quite emotional, give me a big hug, and then he started shadow boxing, and the audience were going crazy. But the minute we walked off, he went to me, "Yeah, I looked great up there, didn't I?" And I was like, "Yeah, thanks." But no, he's really happy with it, and his family are really happy with it, which was obviously extremely important to me, because I get the impression he spent a long time wanting to take a step back from celebrity life or the spotlight.
Yeah.
And so for me, creating this play, it was important that, yes, we tell the whole story, and we don't just sell a shiny version of John, but also that I don't pull him back or his family back into a place that they've clearly tried hard to recover from.
What about sorry, Paul? A life beyond the
sun now. You're on at the Royal Court in Liverpool till the 9th of May. So potentially a tour.
Yeah, I mean, that's the hopes. The hopes is a tour. The hopes is, coming to London with it. He spent most of his life and his career in London, so it would feel weird not to. My bigger aim is to get it on screen. I would love to showcase the story to hundreds of thousands of eyes. And not only that, it's like Liverpool's got such a rich history with boxing. It's really left its imprint on the sport that I think that deserves to be celebrated as much as the Beatles and LFC and EFC and all of that.
That's good. You got both teams in. That was important. You don't alienate.
Literally, I was like blue, red.
Alienate half of Merseyside in the last few days. And finally, it's nice to get good reviews from the press. But this is from Spike in Merseyside. On Merseyside, he said, "I saw the Conte play at the Royal Court last week. I also got the story as it came into production, which was interesting. The lead was amazing. How he acted being knocked out showed unbelievable muscle control. Amazing stuff. What a talented guy." So
nice.
Spike had a good night. This must be good to hear.
Oh, well, yeah, very good. I didn't know where you were going with that then when you said good reviews, but I was like,
That was a member of the public. So,
it's nice to get from the people, the paying punters. Well, cheers, Aaron. All the best for the rest of the run. And if you do come to London, pop in and see us in the studio as well.
Thank you very much. I've got to say though that it's an absolute privilege to come on the show. I've been listening since I was young, and I know my stepdad's listening. So I've got to say, now the wire, always our year. And thank you very much for having me on.
It's a pleasure.
Brilliant.
All the best, Aaron. Thank you. Aaron Julius, the writer and star of the play Conte.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds great.
I'd love to see.
So let's hope it's coming to
London or Edinburgh. Or something like that.
Indeed.
Definitely.
It's got a life beyond that. But if you've got a few days left, if you can get up to Liverpool to go and see it before the 9th of May. So, meanwhile, in Sheffield, we had the conclusion of the World Snooker Championship yesterday. It was a thrilling game. Went to the last frame, didn't it?
It did.
And we'll be chatting to Rob Moore from the Sun Air snooker correspondent. It was there throughout and joined us for a preview to reflect on the good and bad and all the major talking points from another World Championship. That's coming up before Terry Gibson joins us and we continue the build-up to Arsenal Atletico Madrid this evening.
Gentlemen, good morning. Calling all the way from Sydney, Australia.
Good morning.
Lovely to speak to the supply teacher today, as the headmaster and Principal White and Jordan not working today. Alex, you might remember me. I rang up just before the Europa Cup final last year, and you were going on about victory parades and buses and things like that. And we still managed to beat you in an awful game, but we had no Kulusevski, Bergvall and Maddison. And I did hear Adam Nathan, who you quoted, who is the purveyor of the finest gin and tonics in North London, said that you were kind of veritably choking in the quinoa bowl during the Brentford-West Ham proceedings.
He definitely doesn't eat quinoa.
Well, I'm being ironic, but the reality is this is the first month that I've gone to work in Sydney with a veritable spring in my step for quite a while. Full credit to De Zerbi. We've got a light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, I did speak to Simon and Jim 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I said that we were down, and we're not there yet. We've got a long way to go, but De Zerbi, in a short period of time, he's been clever. He hasn't imposed De Zerbi ball on them. He's gone about with the vibes, as the kids would say, boosting the morale. And, Tudor, much maligned. We got them running and fitter again, and he gave them a base for De Zerbi to play the way that they did yesterday. So, and that's for all the West Ham fans crying into their jelly deals this morning. As other messages that you've got, we've got 7, 8, 9 players out injured. Crystal Palace were out boozing it up before they played West Ham. So there's no excuse, really.
Ali McCoy calls Everton's 3-3 draw with Man City proof the Premier League is the best in the world.
Tell you what I'm not having.
Yeah.
Those City fans leaving at 3-1. What was that all about?
I know.
What was that all about?
And then hurtling back in at 3-2. I mean, they've had so many great years. Come on. You can't believe it.
Man.
Pep Guardiola admits the title is now firmly in Arsenal's hands. Meanwhile, we understand despite his bit part role this season, Phil Foden's agreed terms on extending his contract at Man City. Morgan Gibbs-White's been told he won't need to head the ball if he's fit to play for Forest on Thursday. Here's Vitor Pereira.
Very important play for us. I said to him, you don't need to use the head to heading the balls, just to play.
Gibbs-White's looking like Frankenstein's monster after a collision with Chelsea's Robert Sanchez. Villa versus Forest in the Europa League semi-final second leg is live on TalkSport on Thursday night. Now, would Hearts winning the Scottish Premiership be bigger than Leicester? Hearts' all-time top goal scorer, John Robertson, says it would.
You've got two absolute juggernauts of the game up here. Since Graham Souness came in under Ali's time, he changed the landscape of Scottish football. Nobody's been able to get anywhere near Rangers or Celtic.
After beating Rangers, Hearts could be 6 points clear of Celtic before Sunday's Old Firm. There's more, as ever, at talksport.com.
It's Paul Hawksby and Andy Jacobs here on Talk Sport, and the Matchroom CEO Barry Hearn joined Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist on breakfast this morning. He was asked about the champion. Wu Yizhou, I've seen, is the correct pronunciation, but no one seems to be pronouncing it that way. Maybe I'm wrong. He won the tournament at just 22 years old, and this is what Barry had to say.
The kid's a great player. You know, some of your listeners may not realise he won the World Amateur when he was 14 years old. That's for under-19s. This kid is a talent, but there's an awful lot more of them coming. There's an awful lot more of them coming. So watch this space. 7-1 may not look like value, although the kid is obviously a sensational player. Yeah. But there's a lot of other. The sport's in a good place in terms of quality and in terms of intensity. And the kid was great. You know, what I loved last night was he thought for the first session that they were booing him and he was getting a bit upset. But they were wooing him. That's right. You know, it was... listen, I couldn't be happier where the sport is at the moment.
Yeah, it was a great tournament.
It was. He did seem very humble. It went all the way. We previewed it with our next guest. He is back again now to tell us what he made of it all. It's the Sun's very own Rob Moore. Good afternoon, Rob.
Good afternoon. Barry's doing well. He was at the after party till at least 12:30 this morning, so he's clearly got a bit of stamina for a 77-year-old. My goodness.
I saw some reports yet. Sean Murphy stuck around signing autographs, being charming to everybody, considering he'd lost. Apparently, he was late at the after party as well.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't start till 12:15 because it went to that 35th deciding frame the first time in 24 years when his coach was winning the title in 2002. So they got to the after party. Barry gave a speech. Sean did a bit of a moonwalk across the darts floor when his Disco Inferno song was played. Wu was there signing autographs. Probably thinking, what on earth have I walked into? Wu was actually signing autographs at the stage door at 10 o'clock this morning. So, yeah, I mean, it was really nice to be at the party, to see them let their hair down. But, that one frame, 300 grand. That's what it came down to.
It's amazing, isn't it? But
one of the most expensive frames of snooker ever we've had.
There were moments, though, Rob, in the tournament where he could have gone out. Mark Allen missing that black. It was all over. I mean, he's going to think about that forever, isn't he, that one?
Mark Allen had one ball to get into a maiden world final on its spot and tension. The referee momentarily was going to take his gloves off. He thought it was going in. Everyone thought it was going in. He misses it. Wu cleans up. And as you say, Wu then wins the next frame. And Mark had a chance in that final frame, 33rd frame on Saturday. Wu was a very lucky man. Sean almost lost in the first round to a qualifier. So it just shows you, doesn't it, sometimes, what that arena does to you, the pressure and the tension and the nerves, what it can do to your mind and your hand. When
that frame, Rob, that famous frame, I happened to see it, just turned on, and I looked, and the balls were stuck in the corner like the way they were, and I thought, I've never seen balls like that on a snooker table, because I'm not that much, it has happened before, but I'd never seen it before, so I stuck with it, and it was just mad, wasn't it? It just went on and on and on and on, and the ref, I think, got a bit bloody-minded about it, just didn't want to do anything about it, did he?
No, I know that. So I counted it up. The sequence of play was 75 shots between the two of them, and safety shots and hitting the balls. And the tournament official got involved. The crowd were losing patience. Etiquette went out the window. They were slow clapping. The referee probably lost a bit of control as well. Should have done a re-rack. Mark Allen was just saying, well, look, I want to win this frame. He was ahead at the time. And then it goes on. Then there was a safety battle with the pink and the black. It was 100 minutes. So it's the longest frame in the critical history, as you say. It was drama. Steve Davis said it was an embarrassment to snooker. I mean, I take his point, but as a one-off, I mean, as long as it's not every frame, 100 minutes, but as a one-off, it was quite interesting to watch, wasn't it?
They got people talking,
just as people down the pubs, on the snooker, and as you said, Andy, on earth are the balls doing there? They couldn't pop the play.
Now, Wu's story is an amazing one. I'm sure a lot of people have been reading it today, but just to praise it, him and his mum and dad moved to Sheffield from Lanzhou, his home city, and came over when he was 16. I mean, he was sharing a single bed with his dad. There wasn't a lot of money around, so he could make it in the world of snooker. So it's that classic story of sort of parental sacrifice, isn't it? But, it kind of paid off last night.
Yeah, so as Barry said, he won the under-21s at 14. 2 years later, 16 years old, he goes to Sheffield with his dad. His mum stays in China. Right. His mum was ill during this period. She was hospitalised. And he was getting homesick. He was learning at an academy because there's a lot of academies in Sheffield, a lot of Chinese community in South Yorkshire. So he went over there with his dad. They were sharing a bed between the two of them, topping and tailing, because they had to sleep in a one-bedroom flat, no windows. He got acne because of the poor ventilation of where he was staying, all in the pursuit and the dream of making it big. He turns professional at 17. His mum's ill. She then says to him, no, stay where you are, carry on your potting. In that part of the time in China, that was a one-child policy. So he hasn't got any siblings. So this was, the parents were investing everything into his snooker. He then goes and makes it professional. He won the international championship last year in his homeland. So he was a seed going into the draw. And he ends up, as you say, surviving that against Mark Allen, wins £500,000, opens the Pandora's box of money now, doesn't he, for China and the sponsors and everything. What a decision 6 years ago to come over to a foreign country where you don't know the language and you're investing everything in this dream. It doesn't always work for a lot of kids, but it certainly has worked for Wu now.
No, it's a great story. Something as well, listening to Barry, they're talking about there's so many more kids to come. You've been out to China and seen the tournaments and watched the growth of the sport there. So I'm interested in the culture of it, because the culture of the snooker club here, where so many young players get into it and cut their teeth, they can be a bit moody, can't they? They're sort of, they used to be back in the day sort of smoky, sort of beery type places. What's the culture in China? I imagine it's very different, isn't it? Has it got a bit more of a sort of table tennis, sports hall, gym feel to it?
To be fair, I've not been to China for the snooker. I have been to China, but from what I gather, talking to people that have been there and also talking to the agents, it's on the curriculum in China. And the fact is they're invested millions and millions and millions of pounds. And there are now 6 Chinese players in the top 20. We've got 2 in the top 4. Xing Tong made the breakthrough last year. Wu Yize at 22 has come through. And there's lots of young players coming through. Look at qualifying. There were 11 Chinese players in the draw of the 32, which is a record this year. So there's going to be more and more Chinese players coming through. So they treat it properly. It gets huge TV figures over there. They've certainly, there's more events. There's a new China Open that's starting. I think there's 4 or 5 big ranking events in China. So, and obviously we've got the hiatus, haven't we, with the Crucible. Maybe when the builders come in and they start redeveloping the theatre in Sheffield, that we should take the Worlds to China, perhaps. But it'll be fascinating to see how the English lads come through, because the government don't necessarily pump millions of pounds in the UK into snooker clubs. And we've got a couple of young lads, Liam Pullen, 20, Stan Moody, 19. They both appeared at the Crucible, so they'll learn from that experience. But it looks like the Chinese domination is starting, and we're at the start of it now, really, because what's to say that Wu, and I'm afraid Wu, he's going to have to cope with the Crucible curse at some stage in the next 12 months, mainly from my doing, but he's going to have to get up with that. How many more Chinese players might get involved and start dominating? So it'd be fascinating to see from that perspective.
I mean, how many people? I saw you writing about the Crucible curse. Has a sort of first-time winner ever gone back and won the second time?
Oh, of course they have. Steve Davis.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Steve no, they have. I mean, the point is that the greats, Davis, O'Sullivan, Higgins, Hendry, they've all failed, haven't they? That pressure got to them. Even Zhao said it when he lost the quarters to Murphy. Yeah, it got to me. I felt it. So, obviously, Wu's very limited English, so he's not going to be reading the Sun or the Mirror, is he, on a tube? And probably leading the Crucible curse. He could be certainly cocooned from it a little bit. May not be listening to TalkSport, who knows? But he could be cocooned from it. But it will ramp up in 12 months' time when he goes back there, with the fact that he is now being hunted and he's got the world champion. But did you watch it? The fearless way he was taking on those long pots, the fact he was going attacking all the time. Murphy said, and Steve Davis and Hendry said this in commentary the day before, it's changing snooker. If you're safety first, you're going to be a little bit compromised now, because these guys, which Wu is leading, are just going for everything, basically. And it was so exciting to watch, so adventurous. And the Wu chants, which obviously Joe Root gets, doesn't he, with the cricket, are just a sign that the Yorkshireman took him to his heart last 2 weeks and loved him. And that's because of the way he played.
It's a great story. Thank you, Rob. Good to talk to you as always.
Good stuff, Rob. Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
Rob Moore there, the Sun's snooker correspondent, who was there at the Crucible throughout. Terry Gibson's going to join us next. We will be looking ahead to the game between Arsenal and Atletico from a Spanish angle this evening. There's a bit of a weird Mbappe story may run past him as well. And at 4, Andy Goldstein's joined by Gabby Agbonlahor, because Darren Bent's popping up on our Champions League special from 7. We're here with Toolstation. Get your toolbox essentials this spring with big savings on screws and fixings. Next stop, Toolstation.
requesting sports story of the day is to Super Ali McCoist in Ask Ali. I've got one of mine just quickly, Coisty, to start things off. Cesc Fabregas is currently manager of Como. They are 5th in Serie A. He's been speaking today saying, of course, he wants to manage in the Premier League.
Yes.
Do you see Cesc Fabregas as the next manager of Chelsea?
Cool. If you're Chelsea fan, you'd bite your hand off for that. If you're Cesc Fabregas, I think you're weighing up that situation extremely carefully because of what's going on up at the top. I mean, surely he's done a great job there, man. I mean, what a job at Como. Fantastic. And he will. I don't think there's any doubt that he'll manage in the top flight in England sooner rather than later. But is Chelsea right now the perfect job for Cesc Fabregas? As I mentioned earlier, I mean, Chelsea fans would probably be salivating at the prospect of him coming and taking it, and so they should be. But I think there's warning signs at Chelsea. He'll have looked what's happened recently, Jeff, and he can't have failed to have noticed that it might not just be the perfect environment for him to start his career in England.
No.
Is that fair or harsh?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I just look and think, okay, where is he going to get a better opportunity?
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to TalkSport Goals. We've been taking you through what should be another busy day of football.
Chance to win it! Oh!
We don't need to do that, guys.
I'm going to owe you an apology. How would you get to that conclusion? That's a weak mentality.
Oh, get out of it.
Gyökeres with arguably his biggest single kick of the ball in an Arsenal shirt to date. Addresses it, right foot in, scores!
It's been incredible so far, what we've done, but we have to do it now.
Saka again, through the goalkeeper and in to seal the victory.
The process that Arsenal is being, doing for the last 6 years is amazing. Of course, now you need to be able to validate the work by winning something.
Trying to get in Julian Alvarez's head. Normally reliable from the penalty spot and has drilled it left-footed. Straight past right, didn't give him a chance.
I mean, when you are in for such an opportunity, means that you are ready to deliver.
They're in the box seat to try and get to their first Champions League final for 20 years. It is finished. Atletico 1, Arsenal 1.
Yep, delicately poised tonight. We looked at the game from an Arsenal perspective with podcaster Harry Simeo a little bit earlier on. Let's look at it from the Atletico angle now with Spanish football expert, former Spurs, Manchester United, Cov and Wimbledon frontman Terry Gibson. Hi, Terry.
Well, Andy, how are you? Fine, thank you.
Yeah, we're all good. We're not too bad. So, I mean, a lot of people feeling Arsenal, not quite home and hose, but pretty big favourites for this. What makes you think that Atletico can go there and get a result tonight, Terry, watching them as often as you do?
Well, they managed to beat Barcelona away from home in their Champions League tie. They lost at home in the second leg, of course, but went through on aggregate. They they're a good team, and I don't think Arsenal are home and hosed by any stretch of the imagination. Atletico Madrid, it's been a strange old season. They've not been in the title race at all, and they should have been with the money that they spent. They are a decent team. They're a very good team. But since early March, I'll tell you when it was, Paul, when they played Spurs in the Champions League, ever since then, they've been playing the reserve/B team in La Liga matches. So everything has been geared towards the Champions League and the Copa del Rey final. They come unstuck in the Copa del Rey final. They drew 2-2 with Real Sociedad, lost on penalties. And at the weekend, none of the 11 players that played tonight, that played against Arsenal in the first leg, played against Valencia. They still won 2-0. But that's Valencia at the moment. That's a different story. They're 3 points above the relegation zone. But that's what we've been seeing from Atletico Madrid. So it's one team for the cup competitions because they've never been in the title race. They're always going to be finishing top 4. So it's a strange season, but they've certainly saved their best performances for the cup competitions. And in particular, Julian Alvarez, he's got 8 La Liga goals in 29 appearances, 10 in 14 in the Champions League. So that tells you the story about Atletico Madrid this season.
Yeah, when he went off last week, you did think, oh dear, from their point of view, but he is fit tonight, isn't he? What do you think Simeone learned from playing Arsenal last week that he'll take into tonight, Terry?
Well, I think he would have learned that having lost 4-0 in the group stage earlier in the season, that must have been a little bit of a hurdle to overcome in terms of confidence and belief. I think he would have learned last week, in particular in the second half, when I thought Atleti were far better and looked a much more likely a team to score. Raya made some good saves. They hit the crossbar. I think they have to take the brakes off. Now, that won't be from the first minute of the game. Atleti don't do that. But last week, I thought they played with the brakes on in the first half. It was comfortable for Arsenal. But in the second half, when Atleti were behind, they were a much better outfit. So I think that's what he would have learned. His team have to be bold. They have to be brave. They've overcome that fear of playing Arsenal because they lost 4-0. They learnt their lesson when they conceded goals from set pieces. That wasn't an issue last week. And I think that they'll be hoping that they can spring what would be a surprise still. But I certainly don't think it's a given that Arsenal go through tonight. I think it goes, my opinion, I think it goes all the way, right to extra time and goes to penalties.
Really?
Wow. I think Atleti have at least got a draw in them.
That's interesting. Okay, well, we'll see.
Yeah, we certainly will. So we're in for a long night.
Could be.
There's another. And Sorloth, that's a big story as well. Sorloth didn't come on in the first leg. He was on the bench. And I was screaming at the television.
Yeah, that was strange.
Spurs player and a Spanish football pundit. I'm looking at Atleti as the team that I would like to win this game. Yeah. And when Alex Baena came on, when Julian Alvarez came off, I'm thinking, what's Simeone doing? What's he playing at? And Sorloth had a hamstring injury in the warm-up prior to the game, so that's why he couldn't come on. Right. He's a danger as well. In the second half, when he comes on, other fantastic subs to come on as well. They've got a really good squad, really, really strong starting 11, but some really good depth on the bench as well. So he'll play a part tonight, Alexander Sorloth.
Just a quick one, Terry. There's this story coming out of Madrid. Suggestions that Kylian Mbappe is at odds with many of his Real Madrid teammates who have apparently taken exception to his recent behaviour. L'Equipe have been saying that increasing number of the Spanish club's players are frustrated with Mbappe, leading to tensions within the camp. Have you heard anything about this?
Only what's been suggested in the papers and the media. He didn't play at the weekend, so there's some stirring going on. He's taking the blame. He's had an incredibly successful individual season, 2 seasons now, but they haven't won anything. And since he's left PSG, they've won everything. So he's an easy target. Him and Vinicius are the easy targets. There's a lot more wrong at Real Madrid than just Kylian Mbappe. He nipped off to Rome last week on holiday because he's got a slight injury. Perhaps that led to some speculation in the media that he's not on board with everything at the club, but no, I don't think it's a massive problem. Rudiger had a row with a player in training. Rudiger has a row with someone every day, so that's not an issue. But that made big news as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, when Real Madrid don't win anything for 2 years on the trot, people are looking to see reasons why.
Just a quick one. You've got a massive Clásico just around the corner. We've only got about 30 seconds or so, but a big game where Barcelona could get it done at the Nou Camp in a Clásico, and that's not happened before, has it?
Oh, really?
No, it looked like it was going to be done at the weekend. At half-time, Real Madrid were drawing 0-0 with Espanyol. They needed to win to keep it alive. They didn't want to give the guard of honour to Barcelona next week, so that was important. They won that game. And they don't want to lose to Barcelona this week. Real Madrid need the win, then Barcelona will celebrate the title at some stage. It's not going to be long coming, but Barcelona would love to do it in style. So, yeah, looking forward to that. It's going to be a match full of needle at the weekend.
Brilliant. Well, enjoy the game tonight and enjoy that one as well. Thank you, Terry. All the best.
Cheers, gents.
There's Terry Gibson there, Spanish football expert. And as we said, 7 o'clock this evening, you will build up to that one and be kept in regular touch with Darren Bent, Kevin Hatchard, Adrian Durham, your host. And, they'll be right across that game for you. But joining you next here on TalkSport for the next 3 hours will be Andy Goldstein and Gabby Bon-Lahore on Drive. We'll see you soon.
Let's squeeze one more in. Here's the fourth.
Morning, Sean. Ali here, big Arsenal fan. I know you love a curry just like me, but I want to know, what's the best order at a curry house for Sean Dice?
Ali, it's a fair shout. Well, it always starts with Kingfisher or Cobra, obviously. Poppadoms, standard. Mixed platter sometimes. I do the full mixed grill kind of platter. But not for me. I mean, what I do, get it on the table. Everyone has a munch. Everyone dives in. I do like the hot ones. If I'm in the mood, which is rare because it's so hot, is a chicken tikka or a prawn naga, which is incredibly hot. Jalfrezi, still hot, but manageably hot. But now and again, you just want something a bit of flavoursome, even like something soft like a butter chicken mixed with a bit of naga. You get that going on, and you're really on to a winner then.
Yeah.